Fam, welcome in, one and all. It is the Week 14 Start Sit Show Wednesday edition. In case you don't know or recognize the lovely face next to me on the screen, believe it or not, that is Robbie Jeffries. It's not a hologram. This is not an NFT of Robbie Jeffries. It is him. He is here. He is in the flesh. He is with us. Robbie, what's up, my man?
What is happening? Glad to be back. Thanks for holding down the fort and keeping the chair open for me to return. I feel like kind of a special guest a little bit right now, but we'll get back into the swing of things when Kev jumps on. I'm sure we'll be arguing about the latest and greatest players that have been popping off these past few weeks. But yeah, excited to get these start-sit decisions rolling, and I know we'll have the questions rolling through, so let's get to it.
Yeah, anybody who has any start-sit questions, go ahead and drop them in. Obviously, all the trade deadlines have probably passed. I can't imagine there's too many redraft leagues out there still with trades available. And any dynasty trades they are always welcome as well. We've had Abraham rocking with us here for a little bit. Got his question in early, so let's jump in, get to his. Needs one running back and a flex for this week. So the running backs, let's start there. We have Clyde, Aaron Jones, or Chuba.
Yeah, I'll probably go Aaron Jones there. I know, you know, A.J. Dillon has had a little bit bigger of a role than we would have liked. But I do think that Aaron Jones working back from his injury has kind of caused that. But a week off, right? We're hoping that Aaron Jones kind of returns to form. So I like him better than CH, who's also splitting time. And then Chuba, man, it wouldn't surprise me if Amir Abdullah out touches him, at least on the receiving end. That's kind of turned into a little bit of a timeshare with CMC exiting again. So I'm not trusting Chuba too much. So Aaron Jones for me there.
It's really close with Clyde and
what up, you beautiful bastard?
Robbie, is that you?
It's me, Kev. It's me.
Oh, wow! It's been a long time.
It's been a minute, as we say.
I'm a real boy. Yes, it is super close for me between Clyde and Aaron Jones. The matchup, I give the nod to Clyde. They're both splitting time. I might have to change my rankings. I'm going to go Clyde. I'm going Clyde over Aaron Jones here. Aaron Jones has been a little disappointing. Like I said, I lean – when they're this close, I'm going to take the matchup. Give me Clyde going up against the Raiders. Kev, need your opinion here. Robbie went Aaron Jones. I went Clyde. We're just on the RB section of this question. Who do you want to plug in for RB for Abraham?
Aaron Jones.
All right, then we need a flex. Are we putting in one of these running backs? Or are we going Chase or Cooper?
You know, looking at all of these names, you would think, early in the year, you're like, man, how can you sit any of these guys? But just the recent stretch with a lot of these names he has, you're kind of questioning, even though Jamar Chase hasn't quite gotten it done for you the last 4 weeks, I think I like him the best out of all these options. We've seen what his ceiling is, and I do think he will turn it around at some point, right? It's not going to be only 40 yards, 30 yards, 50 yards for him each week. There's going to be a return to an 80 yards and a touchdown, 100-yard game. And I think he definitely has that ceiling over Amari Cooper and CEH, who's splitting time with Darrell Williams.
Kev, where are you leaning for the flex?
I'll go CEH.
Yeah, I think I want the two running backs here. Like, this is like a really close group with all these outside of Chuba. Chuba's kind of not been in consideration for me. I think I talked about him on the running back show. I think he's fine as like a low end RB2 kind of play. But I have Clyde and Aaron Jones, I think in like that 12 to 14, 15 range, I believe. And like Cooper, I mean, I don't know, with Gallup being back, CeeDee Lamb still being there, and then Chase has been falling off a little bit. I'm just going to go the 2 running backs here. But I don't mind the wide receiver options either. But I just give me the touches, even though they're splitting time. Give me the touches.
Yeah, that's a good point. I mean, CEH has been getting the touches, even though he's splitting, right. 12 carries before their bye week, 14 carries, and he's starting to get the pass catching work, which is our big thing with CEH is when is he going to get the pass catching work? 5 catches in 2 games. It's not where we want him to be, but it's better than what it was for sure.
Walito coming through with the super chat. Robbie, I don't know if you have seen the new Avi for Walito.
Wow, that's right on par. I think that's perfect, Walito. We need Cooks to return. We need to start trashing Cooks again, and so he can return to his greatness. I think that's how we fix that issue, and then we need Swift to get healthy again. Love it, though.
Yes, hopefully some debates because there has been a lot of agreements here between Kevin and I while you have been gone. We have RC Cola rocking with us. Justin is here as well. C. Crip has a tight end question. Conklin or Fant full PPR? So obviously Conklin going up against the Steelers tomorrow night, or are you guys leaning Fant in this one?
I think the big thing, and I'm sure most people know this, right, with Adam Thielen being out, I think that really helps Conklin in a normal tight end debate, right? You'd say, okay, he might only get 4 or 5 targets most weeks, but I think with Adam Thielen gone, he saw, what was it, 9 targets? I'd have to pull it up, but he had a healthy target share right after Adam Thielen exited early. So I'm kind of excited with what that brings. I know that the matchup doesn't scream anything great, but if they're going to go down and look in the red zone, the end zone, it's going to be Justin Jefferson or Conklin for me. And so I think he has a decent shot at getting a touchdown where Fant's kind of still splitting time. Judy, Sutton, they have an extremely good matchup on the outside with those weak corners for Detroit. So I'm really excited about both of those guys on the outside. I'm going to lean Conklin here.
I'm going to go Conklin as well. Kev, clean sweep.
Samesies.
Boom. Yahtzee. Justin Young has a question. Higgins missed practice. I missed that. I did not see that. Jamal, Hubbard, or Michelle at the flex full PPR.
Yeah, I'm curious on what happens, obviously, with Henderson. I've heard kind of mixed reports. He's practicing again. Are they going to have him active? Are they going to give him a role? If it looks like Michelle's going to have a majority of the work, I think I'm going to go Michelle here. The Rams have kind of proven they want to have one back carry the load, whoever it is, if it's Henderson when he's healthy, or if it's Michelle. I think they get enough work where I'd like to have that running back. But Higgins has been playing really well in his own right. So if there's some kind of split or we hear that Henderson's going to be fully active, good to go, I might pivot to Higgins. So Michelle, if Henderson is out, Higgins, missed practice today, only Wednesday. I think he got banged up throughout the game, maybe still played a little bit. So not panicking yet, but if he plays, he's my second option.
Kev.
Yeah, I think Henderson returns. I think it was a matter of they were playing the Jaguars. They didn't really need him. They had him if they needed him, but there was no reason to run him out there. So I think Henderson takes back over this backfield this week. And so I think it's T. Higgins. I don't care that he missed practice. I mean, we see a lot of these guys get maintenance days, especially this late in the year. It's on a Wednesday. Like I said, I don't care about Wednesday practice whatsoever. It doesn't matter to me. Thursday, Friday is the two that matter the most if they're going to play or not. Wednesdays are usually just like walk through really light practices. And a lot of times, like I said, you see a lot of veterans get Wednesdays off. So there's nothing to worry about with Wednesdays.
So I was just scrolling through Twitter to see if I could find anything about it. It seems like he got banged up during the game, but he's not expected to miss any time. But somebody tweeted T. Higgins when I bench him in fantasy and then put a picture up of Calvin Johnson.
Don't bench him.
Making me laugh.
Don't bench him.
Making me laugh. Yeah, T. Higgins there for me as well. Emil, should I play Osborne on Thursday or wait to see if Hasty or Sony plays?
I mean, I don't think Osborne's like some like, oh man, he's a must start, you know? And so I think I would just wait and see what happens here. We should know a little bit more with the practice, you know, with, like I said, first Thursday practice, see where these guys are at, see what happens with these 49ers backfield. Because like I said, I mean, I think KJ Osborne is a okay play. Like he's like a low end wide receiver 3, wide receiver 4, but I think people could be disappointed with him as well. Thinking that he's going to get, you know, a significant workload in this offense. I mean, he played for most of that game last week. And if he didn't score the touchdown, he did nothing in that game. He had like what 2 or 3 receptions or whatever. And so I don't think it's, you know, I think he's a fine, you know, option if you need somebody, but he's not like, you know, somebody like, oh man, I can't sit KJ Osborne, you know. And if one of those guys don't play and you could drop KJ Osborne, or I guess or one of these other running backs, I guess you have, you know, like Hasty, if you know Wilson or Elijah Mitchell is able to make it back, then I think you could just drop him and pick up somebody else.
Same.
Speaking of Osborne, Scary Terry or Osborne?
Is this where we're at with Terry McLaurin, that we're deciding between KJ Osborne and Terry McLaurin? There's been a lot of players like that this year, to be honest with you. Like it's been a wild fucking year for
wide receivers. I think have been so inconsistent, right? We've seen goose eggs from a lot of guys that you're used to trusting, DK Metcalf and some of these guys. And I think it really has people just week to week just questioning everything. When you get like a 2-point game from a guy who played the entire game, you just questioned everything. So Scary Terry for me.
Yeah, got to roll with Terry in that one. Appreciate you joining us on Facebook. Justin has another question here. Monty Freeman, Zeke, Hunt, Michelle, or Abdullah in a full PPR, and we need 2. Monty, another one of these guys who missed practice today with, I think, 18 injuries. If I'm being correct.
It's all good, baby. You know, Khalil Herbert's there. He'll just pick it. He'll pick up the throne and continue carrying it.
God.
But I think
let's answer the question.
I'm gonna roll Monty there for sure. And then I think it's interesting because while Zeke's ceiling is definitely not where it was, he's still getting enough touches and has a good enough chance at a touchdown, right? With the offense that they have in Dallas, that I think you can. It wouldn't be out of the realm of possibilities that he probably scores a touchdown, right? And so I like that. But Devonta Freeman, the guy that we were saying week 4, let's cut him, let's get him off. He's looked better and better each week, where I think it's getting to a point where it is kind of close between those two. But I might go Zeke over Freeman, but I would be open to an argument against that as well.
I'm debating Hunt or Zeke.
And let me preface this. If we hear that Henderson isn't going to go, I know Kev just said he's expecting him to go. If we hear that Henderson's not going, it's going to be Michelle and Montgomery for me.
Right.
Just wanted to preface that.
Yeah, it does sound like Henderson's gonna play. He was active last week.
Right.
Obviously, only emergency, didn't get any touches or anything. But I would assume that if they had him suit up for emergency purposes, he should be fine this week. Yeah, I'm in between Hunt and Zeke. I'm going to lock in Monty. Oh my God, Zeke has been so disappointing. You want to talk about guys who?
Yeah, I mean, and Devonta Freeman. I mean, he's getting all the touches in the backfield. 16 carries, 14 carries the last 3 weeks, yep. 6 targets, 8 targets. I mean, touchdowns in the last 2 of the last 3 weeks as well. Like, I'm going David Montgomery. If I assume he's going to play in Devonta Freeman.
Yeah, Cody, the one reason I wouldn't necessarily chase Hunt is you have Baltimore, and then just I don't know what his ceiling is either, right? Like, he came back before the bye, had 7 for 20, 1 target, and that's obviously not where he's normally at. He's in the 10 to 12 carries. So I feel like he's like Zeke, but I don't know if he has that same touchdown upside. So that's why I'd have him maybe a little bit farther down. But yeah, between Freeman and Zeke, I think it's pretty close.
Who would have thought that we'd be hem-hawing this much about these names at the beginning of the year?
I will say that Zeke does get the pass catching work still, even with how banged up he is. And so if he gets, I think he's averaging like 4.5 carries the last 6 weeks or 3 weeks, whatever it is. And so if he gets, 4 or 5 catches on top of 10 carries, even if it's bad yardage, I don't know. I get it. He doesn't look great, but can still score.
I'm going to go Monty and Zeke. Obviously, it doesn't matter because both you guys went Freeman, but that's, my God. Like I said, who would have thought that would have taken that much discussion between us to decide between Freeman and Zeke? But moving on to TX416. Couple of questions. Zeke/Pollard or Javonte?
Kev, say it.
Javonte.
It's your guy.
And then who do I bench between Ayuk, T, or Gordon if he plays half PPR?
I'm going T. Higgins.
You're benching T here.
No.
Oh, who do I bench?
No, yeah.
I was thinking, who do you play? I was going to say play T. Higgins, yes.
Yeah, so you're benching Melvin Gordon.
Yeah.
Kev, did you do a little real quick before we get this next question? I haven't seen you for a minute. How you feel about Javonte? Had a little breakout week. Javonte Williams week finally.
Did he? Just a little breakout.
A little bit. It's exciting.
Yeah, it was so great too. All the Javonte, people that were pushing back on Javonte on Twitter, just watching their world burn around them, and then try to put out their ridiculous tweets afterwards, like, oh, he's the RB1 now in Dynasty. Oh, that's what I'm like. Oh no, you're just a fucking idiot, and fuck everybody. That's all I'm going to say. Javonte Williams is the truth. He's going to be a top 10 running back next year. We can lock that in now.
Ooh.
And Javonte Williams is the man. And
there
so
wanted to give you
that's all I'm going to say. It felt good. It felt therapeutic. It felt good to finally see him spread his wings and fly. And Javonte Williams' season is here. He's the best running back from this rookie running back class. That's not really a debate. He's better than Najee Harris, and I think it's great. It's great that it's Najee or it is a Javonte Williams season, and only good things to come.
Merry Christmas to you.
Javonte Williams week. I don't know if we can call it the season yet because dusty ass Vic Fangio is about to just throw Melvin Gordon back into his 50% of those touches that he has been getting. There's no way that he doesn't. Maybe it's not 50, but I think it's at the best going to be a 60-40 split for Javonte.
I think I would take that too. I mean, you give him a 60-40 split. I mean, I'll take that. I mean, he's been incredibly efficient this year. I mean, even the fact that he hasn't, he's still been a viable fantasy option. I mean, he's a weekly flex option every single week. I mean,
the pass catching, he has such a solid floor, right? And then he's efficient with the small touches. So yeah, I think what I've always talked about with these rookies is just give it time. They're not going to do it week 1, might not do it week 2, but eventually it happens, right? And I think this might be that turning point where he could end up being a league winner. So just wanted to give you the floor for a bit. Well, we got to get to Justin's question.
And I also don't know if you guys knew it or not, but Javonte Williams has outscored a bunch of running backs who haven't played half the season. So that was a big revelation.
It was insightful.
Very insightful that I saw on Twitter earlier today. But moving on to Justin's question, Freeman, Abdullah, or Dillon at the RB2?
I think for all the reasons that Kev kind of pointed out and that we were alluding to is that Freeman has been getting enough touches over Murray and doing enough with it in this offense, right? The Ravens have found a way to even make him, fantasy relevant again, where I think he's going to be above Abdullah, who I can't really trust yet, and then Dillon, who I think is going to be back to splitting time with Aaron Jones. So give me Freeman.
It's definitely Freeman. I mean, Freeman has put up 3 RB1 weeks. Over the last 5 weeks, 3 of those have been RB1 weeks. I mean, It's Devonta Freeman.
He's been involved as a pass catcher as well, which is something we haven't really seen in years past in that Ravens offense. Another one here from Justin: Chase, Gage, or Osborne this is where we have come with Jamar Chase over the past couple of weeks that he has had. Must-win week, so no pressure.
It's Jamar Chase. I mean, he should have had more last week. He dropped just a perfect pass right in his hands. What would have been a house call for a 70-yard touchdown that he dropped. It's Jamar Chase.
Clean sweep there. This one from Aquaman. We need one in the flex. AP on his 17th team this season in 3 weeks. Moreau/Waller if he plays, or Rondell Moore.
Okay, first of all, Aqua, we can go ahead and drop Adrian Peterson. There's just no reason to roster him. Like, he's never going to have a week where you're like, "Yep, I'm going to play Adrian Peterson
God
this
I
week."
played him.
Yeah, he's just anyway.
It's going to be Las Vegas tight end for me, whoever that ends up being.
It's going to be Waller for me if he plays, and then it's who's on the waiver wire, Aqua, because I don't want to play any it was like the Foster Moreau hype was funny to me last week. I mean, there was so much hype around him last week and off the one game that he had, and I don't mind him. They're going to have to throw the ball in this game as well, but I don't really feel great about these other options outside of Waller if he didn't play. If you had to play Moreau, fine, you can play him. But if not, find who's on the waiver wire.
What do you guys think about if Keenan Allen put on the COVID IR list? We've seen, TJ Watt come back within the week, but most people probably missed the game, right? So if you're guessing, most likely misses the game, but we don't know. Mike Williams, unvaccinated, close contact, not guaranteed to miss either, but we have Jalen Guyton, who's been doing a little bit here the last couple of weeks.
Oh, Mike Williams is out. Mike Williams is ruled out.
Was he
unvaccinated.
Ruled out?
And he's also ruled out for Thursday.
I missed that. So what do you guys thought to talk about a waiver wire guy for this week? Jalen Guyton, I think, is an interesting name. I would probably have him as a higher ceiling than AP, throwing him on the roster, see if Waller plays. I'd probably go Waller over Guyton, but if Waller doesn't play, I think Guyton's an interesting guy. Haven't really dove into it too much, but I think he's been showing enough flashes, has that deep threat ability where I think he's an intriguing name that's probably on your waiver wire.
I just don't know what to make of it between Guyton or Palmer. You know what I mean? Like it wouldn't surprise me if this week Palmer came through, and then we haven't seen the tight ends be involved over the past couple of weeks really for LA, but at the beginning of the year they were. So I just really don't know what to make of that right now. Like maybe by the time that Thursday or Friday rolls around, we'll get Guyton is expected to be the guy, or whatever. But I just don't know who to go after.
I would view it like this. So this is what I think is how this is going to play out. I think that if both of them miss, if Mike Williams and Keenan Allen both miss, I think you see Jalen Guyton play primarily on the outside and be the deep threat field stretcher like Mike Williams. And you see Josh Palmer slide into the slot where Josh Palmer already plays 37% of his snaps from there. And I think he plays that Keenan Allen role where he is in the middle, gets those short, intermediate, underneath routes. And so for me, in a PPR format, I prioritize Josh Palmer over somebody like Jalen Guyton. Now, I still think Jalen Guyton is an interesting name, too, just because of his deep threat ability. We saw him a little bit last year, have some splash weeks as well. But the only thing that worries me about either one of them overall is this game. The Giants are terrible. I don't know how much they need to do in this game. So I don't know how much they throw the ball either. You may just lean on Austin Eckler and, be really efficient and just move the ball down the field. However, for next week is where it's going to get interesting because on Thursday they play the Kansas City Chiefs. Yeah. And so you might be picking somebody up with not just the thought of maybe playing him this week, but with the ability to play him Thursday. because that's going to be a home matchup against the Chiefs where they're going to have to throw the ball.
Yeah, I just think this is a team that throws the ball regardless of outcome, right? Like they're I think third least in rushing attempts. Like they're just gonna. That's this offense is built on throwing. So, if you told me you're going to give Jalen Guyton, let's say 7 or 8 targets, he catches half of them and he can house call it. He's like maybe an MVS type player. That if our other options are Foster Moreau and AP, I want to take that deep shot on a guy has Justin Herbert throwing to him. So that's what
he definitely has. If you look at him, I mean, he has a 16.1 yards per reception, which is 11th most among all wide receivers, where Josh Palmer only has 11.2. That's why I said I just feel like he is probably going to be that underneath guy and could see a lot more targets. Where Jalen Guyton probably comes in. Yeah.
Safer probably. Justin Herbert's least amount of attempts this season has been 34. Plenty of games in high 30s and 40s. So I really like one of them, right? Let's try and get one of them on your squad. Take a shot with either a little bit safer Josh Palmer or a big shot with Guyton.
I'm just ready for the Austin Eckler 16 target game that is on tap.
Oh yeah.
And did you guys know that Austin Eckler has scored touchdowns this year? I was told that he doesn't do that.
15 touchdowns.
I was told that he doesn't do that. And
how much longer are we going to run with that?
Kev, does he do this every week? Have I missed the last?
No,
5
actually,
weeks?
I think it's only with you.
Okay,
it's on the show, but yes, I haven't a time or two.
I haven't said it for a while because he's been playing well. I just need to slide that in there while we're on the Chargers talk. But speaking of sliding in, the GOAT, the OG, the numero uno, the 101, if you will.
True.
TN coming through with that $20 super holla. As always, just can always count on him. I have a question. 2 wide receivers and a flex in a standard league. Looking at Diggs, Russell Gage, OBJ, and Landry. Standard league, where are we going? Obviously locking in Diggs. Who's the other 2?
Locking in Russell Gage. And then I'm going to go OBJ. Landry really worries me with his it's in a non-PPR setting, right? And I will say, though, Marlon Humphrey is out for the year, so that's obviously a boost to their pass catchers. Their secondary is not – I mean, he's kind of the name, the best corner they have, and, especially with all the injuries they've had this year and that Baltimore defense. And losing Marlon Humphrey is a massive blow. But Jarvis Landry just lives off volume, and I just don't – and if it was PPR, I'd probably have a different opinion. But with this being standard, I think I just lean towards the first 3.
If you want to look at it this way as well, the over-under in the Baltimore-Cleveland game is a hefty 42, and the over-under in that LA Cardinals game is 51.5. So.
Yeah, the Cardinals have actually been really good against number 1 wide receivers. Not saying that Cooper Kupp won't beat that trend, but number 2 wide receivers, they've actually given up quite a few touchdowns. And obviously, if we're talking standard, you're hoping for that touchdown. Your 5, 6, 7 catches don't matter quite as much. So I'm going to give the edge for the touchdowns to OBJ over Landry, especially in that offense. So I'm going to agree with Kev here, the first 3 for me.
Clean sweep. Appreciate you, TN. I'm going to let that one linger there a little bit. Going over to Andrew's question from NASCAR Fantasy Live. Robbie, this one's for you, buddy. We got a defense question. I hope you prepped your defense, your defensive rankings, and to get ready for the show. You got the Chargers, Seahawks, Packers, Broncos.
Oh my God.
Cowboys.
Packers.
Since I have the list had in front of me, I'm going to go the Chargers, just going up against Jake Fromm in that game. That's where I will lean. But to throw those out, Chargers, Seahawks, Packers, Broncos, and your Dallas Cowboys.
Yeah, I mean this is a lot of good options. Obviously, a lot of good matchups. What was this for? This isn't for a regular fantasy week, is it?
Yeah, you just said what
Man,
do you think of
how does he have? Yeah, he has all these teams available to him. That's amazing. I would probably lean the Chargers for the same reasons you've alluded to with Jake Fromm. I think we haven't seen Jake Fromm yet in the NFL realm, but for anybody who kind of followed Jake Fromm coming out, this is not a down the field big arm type of QB. Short dink and dunks is what I'm going to expect. Probably more of a Saquon Barkley. Hope he can dominate. But yeah,
Saquon Barkley is going to see 20 targets this week. I'm
yes,
here for it.
100%.
20 targets, 14 receptions for
37 yards.
68 yards. Yeah. Yeah, I'm going to go Chargers there as well with Broncos against Detroit. Detroit's given up double-digit points to almost every single defense. So one of those two.
Can you believe that Justin Fields transferred out from Georgia because of Jake Fromm?
Oh gosh, bad. Could
have just stayed at Penn State and wouldn't have had to do all that. But anyway, Abraham has a question: Lamar or Kyler?
Kyler.
Lamar looks broken.
Yeah. Yep.
Right now.
Yep.
I mean, some of the decisions he's making, some of the throws he's making, it's been really weird this year. I mean, Lamar has went through this stretch. Patrick Mahomes has been going through this stretch. Josh Allen. And we're seeing like league-wide, like passing numbers are down in terms of like average depth of target, where I think typically it's like 7.6. This year it's down to like 6.8 average depth of target on the year. And I think some of it has to do with like every team is playing this too high safety, and like we're seeing all these offenses that we typically see like deep balls to, like these teams are just not letting it happen anymore, and so some of the deep stuff is just being taken away from these teams, and a lot of these teams aren't really knowing how to react. So it's been a interesting year for a lot of these quarterbacks where. Where it goes back into the, unless your name's Tom Brady. I mean, he's the only one. It's not seeming to affect. But all these other quarterbacks, like we're just seeing a lot of really ugly games from them. And Lamar is no different. I mean, his ability to be able to run the ball is what's making him at least have a decent floor. Because if it wasn't, I mean, last week against Pittsburgh, I mean, he single-handedly kept the Steelers in that game. Because, I mean, just the ridiculous throws he was making. It's like, fuck it. Mark Andrews is down there somewhere, and throws,
Yeah, I would say I kind of give him a pass because he loses his top three running backs, not one, not two, but three. And they've always been a run-first team, right? This has been the first year where they've leaned on him to go back and win these games, right? And be expected to throw the ball 30 times. Before, he's thrown the ball 16 times a game, 18 times a game, 22 times a game. So I think I'm going to give him a little bit of grace because this is the first time they've really put it all on his shoulders. And so you're going to have some bumps with that. We had the 4 interception game a couple weeks ago. This game had some good moments and bad moments, but I'm going to go Kyler.
Another clean sweep. AO has an embarrassment of riches here. Needs some help with these 3 running backs. Mixon, Madison, Najee, Monty, Barkley. We need to sit 2 out of that group.
First 3, as long as Dalvin Cook does not play. If Dalvin Cook plays, then we're going to Monty.
Yeah, I think. Well, it's just tough. I mean, those are so good names. You kind of have to, pick hairs at splitting them up, right? Man, Madison when Cook has been out, it's just been fantastic. So yeah, I think I'm going to go Mixon, Madison, Najee against Minnesota tomorrow. 2 teams that have not beat the Lions. Can't wait. Yeah, I'm going to go with the first 3.
The Lions Bowl. And then we need 2 wide receivers out of D-Hop, Higgins, Hollywood, and CPAT.
I'm going to go with Hopkins and another name that I'm surprised that we're talking about this year, Cordaro Patterson.
Just traded for him in the league. It felt a little weird, but needed it.
What was the trade?
It's Dynasty, and I gave up a late second and Gabe Davis, and I got C-Pat.
And I'm just here
gave
for
up
next year.
Gabe Davis.
I know.
I'm just here for next year, though, whenever he's being drafted and, like, as a top 15 wide receiver or top 20 wide receiver, and people are just, just really upset, and we're here this time next year. I'm like, man, people really drafted Cordaro Patterson as a top 20 wide receiver.
Yeah, we also said this week 4, so.
Just watch him just have like a 3-year stretch of but I'm with you as well. It's going to be Hopkins and CPAT for me.
I'm going to go Higgins and CPAT. Higgins has been getting the volume that Hopkins is not. If Hopkins doesn't get bailed out by a touchdown, he has actually been pretty poor as a wide receiver. So obviously he can keep up the touchdowns, but so can Higgins. And I think Higgins' target share is a little bit more reliable for me. So I'm going to go Higgins and Patterson.
I mean, this game is, though, I will say this, the last game they played was a little different. I mean, Kyler only threw the ball 15 times. So,
yep.
I think that had more to do with it. And he still scored 30 fantasy points on only 15 attempts. Things you love to see.
Yep.
But this is a completely different matchup that he's going to have this week. And so they're going to have to throw the ball. And I just think that DeAndre Hopkins probably sees 8 to 10 targets.
Yeah, here's what's crazy. He hasn't seen double-digit targets the entire year. It's definitely a different Hopkins. And maybe not different Hopkins, but just the ability for Kyler to spread the ball around. Sometimes it's Christian Kirk. Sometimes it's A.J. Green. Now we have Zach Ertz in the mix. Rondale always doing his thing.
And a run game.
Yeah.
Which is different.
James Conner, wait. I should have said James Conner so much earlier. Apparently the pass catching back out of that group. So, yeah, he just spread it around a lot more, which is why I'm worried a little bit about Hopkins. So, I'd stick with Higgins.
Uzi coming through after a 30K week last week for Uzi. Playoffs start this week. Wow. Just didn't switch it, or are you guys doing? Do you guys just have a different?
I've seen a few people out there say that like their league didn't want to switch it. They want to keep it the same, which to me is just garbage because 2 reasons. One, obviously we extended the season, but there's a week 14 bye. Like you're getting screwed with 4 teams on bye this week just because I don't want to switch it. Like it's just garbage. Like I hope Uzi may be the commissioner of that league, so I'm not trying to shit all over you, Uzi, if you are. But it just doesn't make any sense. Like, we knew that coming in. Week 14 was going to have a bye week. There's zero reason that somebody should have to play, a fantasy playoff game with 4 teams on bye and having to make these decisions. To me, it just doesn't make any sense. Like, we added the extra week, move it week 15, 16, 17. Everybody wants more fantasy football. No one wants less. I digress. From this, too, I don't fucking know. I guess Rex Burkhead and Dontrell Hilliard, not Singletary. They're playing the Bucs. One, I can make this easy. They're playing the Bucs. No thanks. I don't want anybody there. The Bills already don't want to run the ball if they don't have to. And now it looks like it could be a 3-way committee here with Singletary, Zach Moss, and Matt Breida. So,
unless they make Zach Moss inactive, like what's going on with that? That is week 1, and then 2 weeks ago making Zach Moss inactive has just been really puzzling.
And I'm not sure if it could be that they activated Zach Moss because of the game environment,
that's what I think.
The wins and everything else that was going on there, that he made a little bit more sense for that type of game.
Well, why is he inactive?
Well, I think. Well, I don't think they want to carry that many running backs. I mean, on the active, on the active roster, and Matt Breida had been playing well, but Matt Breida fumbled the ball in that game, and then we didn't see him. I don't know if we saw him again the rest of the night after he fumbled the ball against the Patriots. So, but to me, it's just a matchup. I have no idea what Singletary's role is going to be. So, not that I feel like great and confident about Burkhead, but he's getting the touches. It's not a great matchup, but it's not bad either against Seattle. But and then Hilliard, I think, is going to get opportunities as a pass catcher and as a runner as well. So I would go with those two.
Yeah, what worries me there is Jeremy McNichols is back, and I don't know how the Titans feel about those 3 running backs.
Yeah,
right?
how are things gonna?
I
How are
have
things
no
gonna get divvied
idea.
up
If you
between the
told
3
me
of them?
Jeremy McNichols gets all of the pass catching work and Hilliard's back to a third, not playing at all, I wouldn't be surprised. Or if they split time, so that's why I'm kind of nervous about that. At least I know Singletary's going to be 1/2 to 1/3 of that backfield. If and the
The only
pass
thing I would
catching,
say is it would be really asinine to me for them to as because I think Hilliard has actually played pretty well and he's looked
yes,
pretty damn good, and the opportunities that he's gotten, and I would be surprised because it's not like Mick Nichols has done anything this year,
yep.
to warrant to get just be able to come back in and take over some sort of role, because if you look at him this year, he has one game all the way I could get week 4 where he had 8 catches for 85 yards. But other than that, he doesn't really carry the ball that much. Even in routes run, he was still not even post Derrick Henry going down. I think it was like 11 routes and 8 routes. Like, I think it's probably going to be Foreman and Hilliard, and then maybe McNichols maybe mixes in here and there. I think that's how it plays out in my mind.
Yeah, you could talk me into any which 3 of these to go. Don't love any of them. There's no waiver wire guys that we can suggest to help him out. I was just kind of
Jermichael Hasty is Jermichael Hasty sitting out there.
Yeah,
Rashad Penny. Hey, will you stop putting that evil on him? Okay, yes, he is very soft.
I think I'm 99% sure that like 3 weeks ago you said fuck Rashad Penny. He's not going to be a thing. He's never been a thing. And now all of a sudden you're going to come out here and try and talk him up.
Because I try to lift people up, Cody. I try to bring positive vibes. Okay, I don't try to tear people down. That's somebody says the Steelers and you like lose your mind and you're like, oh, everybody on the Steelers sucks. It doesn't matter who it is. Deontay Johnson's terrible. Chase Claypool's the worst. And you're a Steelers fan. I'm trying to bring positivity into your world. Okay, all right. Don't be negative. It's Rashad Penny. We're hoping that he stays intact. He's healthy. Okay, and maybe he finished the season. Maybe he's a league winner.
Oh my God, guys! Kevin is joking now. He's gone too far. This is what happens.
This is the Ty Johnson talk. Again.
No, this is almost every year we have somebody that comes out of nowhere for the last 4 or 5 weeks of the season.
Yeah.
Okay. And it very well. Hey, if it's Javonte, I'm here for that. But 6 to midnight. But
if Rashad Penny is a league winner, I will send you literally all the money that I have. I will whore my wife out onto the streets, and I will send you all of the money.
Who was the Saints running back like 3 or 4 years ago that came out of nowhere? Everybody got hurt. And it was just him, and it was who was it? And he got he was hurt. He was out of the league for a couple of years. He came back and he finished the season with the Saints, and he was a league winner.
Was it Pierre Thomas?
That was my thought. That's way more than 3 years ago.
No, I'm going to look it up. I don't want to hold this up. I'm going to figure out who it is.
Yes, Uzi.
Or Walito, you're in the chat. You're a Saints fan. You guys know who I'm talking about. Who's the guy I'm talking? I can't think of. I'm going to look it up.
I can't think of his name either. Uzi, if Jermichael Hasty is available, I would start him over all of these guys. Even if Jeff Wilson ends up being cleared, it would be Jermichael Hasty for me. And maybe he's available, maybe he's not, considering these are your options. But I would go Burkhead and Singletary out of this group. McNichols got in a full practice today, and also
Tim Hightower.
I don't know if anybody. Tim Hightower.
That's who it was. Tim Hightower.
I don't know if anybody knows this, but did Janoris Jenkins legally change his first name to Jackrabbit?
News to me.
On the Titans team website, he is listed as Jackrabbit Jenkins. I'm just curious if
Google search is Jackrabbit Jenkins.
Like a Chad Ochocinco Meta World Peace kind of situation here. Debro, thanks for the advice. Be Taylor, Mixon, and Fournette. Let's go. We need to help Dustin out again. 2 wide receivers, 1 flex. I don't know if he's going to start him. Yes. Cooper, Chuba. Okay, so wide receivers, Keenan Allen, Cooper, Van Jeff, Guyton. So we need 2 out of that group. Obviously, if Allen plays, we're locking him in. Let's say that he doesn't play. Who's the next two? Cooper and Van Jefferson for me.
Yeah. Agreed.
And Cooper would be my second choice if Allen does play.
Yep.
And then in the flex, are we rolling out Pitts in the flex? Or are we going Van Jeff, Chuba, Guyton, who we talked about? Who do we like here in the flex for Dustin? I'm going Pitts.
I'm going Chuba.
So this is Allen's out, Cooper, Van Jefferson, and then I would go for the flex Pitts.
The thing with Pitts though is he hasn't done dick all year. Like, we're just putting his name there just to put his name there. He hasn't done anything since week 7.
The targets have still been there though.
But he hasn't done anything. So how long are you going to keep chasing it? Like 3.3.
Chuba hasn't done anything either.
5.9, 4.6, 8.8. Like, he's done nothing. He's had those 2 games with a 26.9 and 23.3. Other than that, he's been terrible. He's done nothing. Like, he shouldn't be. He's not a tight end 1 anymore. We shouldn't look at him that way because he hasn't done anything to deserve.
You don't know the floor for tight end 1. It's pretty low. It's a low bar. He's a tight end 1.
If he is, he's a low end, and it's still not great. But give me the guy who's going to with Chuba Hubbard, who's going to see 15 to 18 touches. Not the guy.
I don't know if he is. I think they played Amir Abdullah. Definitely.
I think Amir Abdullah is going to be involved. Sure, like that's not in question for me at all. But there's the Kyle Pitts.
So there's a difference with Cam at QB than it was with Sam Darnold. They're not running the ball to their running back 20 times, right?
Sure, but it's still they have the much better matchup here going against the Falcons, and I don't know. It's not Kyle Pitts. I know that.
Yeah.
Well,
60.
There you have it, Dustin. Two votes for Pitts, 1 for Chuba. Kev, you were talking about Nick Westbrook, Ikeen in the wide receiver video. If Julio plays, are you plugging in Julio or Nick?
Julio.
Ayuk or Landry? This is going to be Ayuk, I'm assuming, across the board for us.
If it's PPR, I'm going to go Landry.
We're expecting Debo back. I mean, it's close, but I'm gonna stick with Ayuk. I think there's just a higher ceiling there. I know, and this is coming off of Landry's fantastic game that I don't think gets repeated. I'm gonna go Ayuk.
Itty bitty South City, 650, half PPR. Anyone on my bench that I should start this week? Where's the benches? Donovan Peoples-Jones, Darrell Williams, Sony Michel, Ricky Seals-Jones.
RSJ. Sorry.
No, you're putting RSJ over Everett.
Yeah, and it's assuming he plays. He's got an limited practice with Logan Thomas on IR. I would expect him to slot back in, and it just seems week in, week out, whoever that tight end is, they have a really good shot at 45 yards and a touchdown every other week. Everett has 2 fumbles and a really costly drop that turned into an interception last week. I'm just not going to follow that train. I'm going to go RSJ over Everett. The rest of it probably looks about right.
Samesies for me. Good luck to you, itty bitty South City. Wyatt wants to know Tyler Lockett or Javonte Williams.
Tell him, Kev.
Javonte Williams.
Newton, Fields, or Tanny in a 14-team league for a triple tray?
I'm going Cam Newton.
Yeah, I'm going Newton as well. I mean, we like his matchup against Atlanta. We like Tannehill's matchup against Jacksonville, but I'm going to stick with Newton over Tannehill.
If Julio plays, does that change anything?
I think it does. I think it does for me. And they'd be neck and neck where you could talk me either way. They're both low or high end QB2s. I have them right there at 13 and 15.
Tennessee wants to run the football, right? Jacksonville's offense has been so terrible. I cannot see a scenario where they're able to keep this close. It's possible. It's possible. They did beat the Bills, but I think more often than not, that's not going to happen. And if it's not, they're probably not going to throw the ball very much. And I think that limits him a little bit. Now, he could be efficient, and hit some touchdown passes, stuff like that. But I just prefer Cam Newton, who has such a large upside in terms of his rushing ability, no Christian McCaffrey, and goal line work that he's going to get. Like, I just can't pass up on that.
Yeah, it's just, man, that last game and firing Joe Brady, whatever the hell that's about, I can't imagine that fixes much of anything. Maybe if you didn't try skating by, like that's the team that tried, tried streaming their quarterback but picked the wrong one each week, and now you're like, you know what? I'm going to drop Christian McCaffrey because my quarterback sucks. Like it doesn't make sense. AB wants to know, would we trust Samaje Perine against the Niners if Mixon is out?
He's expected to play. He just has an illness, non-COVID, so he's expected to be ready to go by Sunday. So I wouldn't. If just to entertain the argument, yeah, sure, you can play Samaje Perine for sure if he's out.
Yeah, trust and playable are slightly different in this scenario. Playable, yes. Trust, it would be hard, but I mean, you have to like the fact that he's going to step into the high majority of those touches there. We have a kicker question from Justin Robbie coming to you. Greg the Leg versus Washington, Suckup versus the Bills, Bullock versus the Jags, or Boz versus the Vikes. Would you put in any of those kickers over McManus that Justin currently has?
I'd probably go Boswell. I think Pittsburgh will move the ball against Minnesota enough to get into field goal range quite a bit. Minnesota has just been terrible. They get Patrick Peterson back. I don't know what that means. It's probably an upgrade because they've been league worst against wide receivers, but I expect them to do just fine. So for all the confidence I have in suggesting a kicker, give me Boswell.
Just saw this one at the bottom. We'll get back up to the questions, but Itty Bitty works as a contact tracer for COVID. So little news here on Keenan Allen and his possibility of playing this week, even though he is #vaxxed.
Well, and with him just needing to get the back-to-back, because essentially if he doesn't get a positive by Friday, he's out. I mean, because he's not going to be able to get it in time.
Yeah.
And especially with them having to travel and everything else with this big game on the road. So,
is it on the road?
Pretty sure it is. Either way,
it's not.
Yeah, I thought it was at home. That was why it was an extra day there.
There's somebody else though with COVID, right? That has an away game. I think there's someone else who I can't remember who it is, but I think there's somebody else with an away game. I can't remember who it is.
Yeah,
or maybe that was last week. Who knows? It's all blending together at this point. But itty bitty, appreciate the info there. TX416, Hilliard or Foreman. This is going to be Foreman for me because I just don't know what to expect out of that RB2 spot for Tennessee.
Same.
Dontrell Hilliard.
Panthers or Chargers defense?
Chargers.
Be Chargers for me as well. Wyatt, Kevin, do you want to be different? Just to be different?
I just give the people what they want, Cody. Okay? All right? The answers. The correct answers. And speaking of which, somebody hasn't been on the show since an old bet we had, if and he mysteriously disappeared right after it happened. The Michael Carter bet, where I was all about Michael Carter, and I was told that I was wrong and I was crazy for saying Michael Carter over Cordaro Patterson. Michael Carter smashed. Let's go.
I'm not upset about that. That was fantastic. Good call on your end. I'm glad you finally got to the correct Jets running back to get behind. Took you a couple weeks. I think I told you that I couldn't come back until Ty Johnson was relevant, but I figured I couldn't sit out the rest of my career. So I just had to come back at some point. So good call on that. He ended up being, I think you had said he can't, or you said he could get 15 targets. And I was like, he's not getting 15 targets, and he gets 14 targets that week. So spot on. Well done.
The Fantasy Gurus podcast joining us with a sumptuous evening, gents. Trade deadline is passed. My team is Dak, Kamara, Mixon, Devontae, Deontay, Waller, Chuba. Locked in the 1 seed. Let's go.
Let's go.
No. Indeed, sir. Well done. Indeed.
Chips all around. Chips all around. We're all winning chips. Everybody in here, we're all winning chips this year. Okay? Everybody, we're all just going to have gold, and we're just going to put it all over our shoulder, and it's championship season, boys and girls. And because we got Tam here, and let's win. That's all we're doing. We're just cashing checks. Everybody, we're gonna make it rain right around Christmas time, New Year's Eve, and we're gonna party. And we're gonna party like it, like it's 1969. I don't know.
All the year.
I wasn't even.
Do people say "make it rain" anymore? Is that still a thing?
No cap. I don't know.
Oh, there it is.
It'd be bussing though. It'd be bussing.
Oh.
No. All right, let's move on to Tam's question before this gets out of hand. Please pick 2: Van Jeff, Judy, Gallup, MVS.
I'm going Scantling and Van Jefferson.
I'm going Judy, who has a fantastic matchup against the Lions, and Van Jefferson.
Oh, he does. He does. But he hasn't done a fucking thing. And not his own fault. It's nothing has to do with him. They have him. They have Noah Fant. They have Cortland Sutton. They have all these wide receivers, all these great weapons. But then you got stuck with Teddy Bridgewater.
Yeah.
You hate to see it.
Yeah. 77 yards last week. Getting there.
Garbage time. It was all garbage time.
It counts. I'm okay with that. It counts. So let's see what he can do against Detroit. I trust that talent a little bit more. MVS just takes one shot, correct? I get that. I'm going to trust Judy a little bit more, and Van Jefferson.
Wait, did you guys? What is your answer, Cody?
I didn't do that. Is that the rookie?
No, I didn't touch anything.
I know you touched my drumstick because the left one has a chip in it.
Cops doesn't come up until 4.
Don't be on the fence. I want a true answer from you here. Don't go on the fence.
There's no offense here. Van Jeff is locked in.
We're locking in Van Jefferson. What a time!
It is a great time to be alive.
Sounds like a fence.
Judy seems like it's the obvious answer because of the matchup, but the matchup then also scares me because what happens if they get up and dirt ass, dusty ass, crusty ass Vic Fangio just running the rock 32 times in that game.
Just say it with your chest. Say it with your chest.
Jerry Judy.
You're wrong. Ronald. It is almost like you should never roster Bills running back. Concur. Rashad Penny is the Sterling Shepard of running backs. You can win leagues if you can't finish games. Or you can't. Wait, no, he said you can. He said you can. He didn't say can't. Yes. I'm going to be, listen, I'm not necessarily calling it, but I'm going to be so happy if Rashad Penny just crushes the rest of the year and is a league winner. And we can circle back here on this very event.
CJ Spiller.
What a name. What a name to go back in time. He was one of the biggest draft busts ever because he was like a top 5 pick and then just did absolutely nothing that year.
Was he that high?
Yeah,
Wow.
he was like a top 5 pick.
Wow. And
I love
UDFA Fred Jackson is coming in at age 28 and dominating. Love to see that.
Fred Jackson.
Eli Mitchell, nothing yet on the Eli Mitchell Express, but it's not sounding promising because, as far as I know, he is still in concussion protocol.
Concussion and something else,
now
he has a knee issue as well.
Yeah, and if he hasn't even started to clear the process now, and if he doesn't do anything tomorrow, I would just pretty much figure he's going to be out. Tam. Gallup or Brandon Cooks? This is Brandon Cooks.
Yeah, it is.
Aqua. Guyton, Nick Westbrook, or Osborne. Need one. Listen. I love this list here. This is week 14 fantasy football here, boys.
Aqua's in just dire straits all over the place, man. I feel.
Okay, so let's look at it like this. So
I'm going Osborne.
If the two Chargers wide receivers are out, because if not, then Guyton doesn't matter. Where do you land?
But we need to know that by tomorrow.
I think Nick Westbrook and Osborne are still you can do whatever you want there. I mean, I don't think either one's all that different from the other.
But I'm going Osborne.
I'm gonna go Guyton. Got the feeling. I'm gonna ride with Guyton.
I agree. Tomas. Hey guys. Hey Thomas. Playoff start this week for me, and I've got Herbert as quarterback in a very tough matchup. If Eckler, Allen, and Williams all miss this, I mean, why are we thinking Eckler? I mean, I don't think Eckler's going to miss. Why are we putting that out there?
Don't put that fucking evil.
Don't put that out there in the world. You take that back, Mrs. Big. Should I just pack it in? Well, no, you shouldn't. Okay, we never give up. Okay. One, I don't think you have to worry about Austin Eckler being missing this game. I think he'll be fine. Now the other two, on the other hand, Williams is already done, and then Allen
is that true?
He's unvaccinated. He has to sit if he's unvaccinated, which I think they said today he was unvaccinated. He has to sit out 10 games.
Yeah, Mike Williams is definitely out, but for this week. But I think it depends on if he is just a close contact or if he actually tested positive.
Yeah, if he tests positive, he's also out.
He's definitely out for Thursday. Yes.
Yeah, so next week because they play Thursday.
If it's close contact, I think there's a shot that he could be back.
Yes. The short answer, no, you shouldn't just pack it in. Okay, we can still win.
Do not pack it up. Do not pack it in. Keep with.
And why do you have 4 Chargers? By the way,
no, he's just saying if they miss, he just says just
quarterback.
He's just worried about his weapons. But fear not.
No, I'm not worried about that whatsoever. We saw Herbert a ton last year without a lot of the weapons, and he still did fine. It does not matter to me.
No.
And they're playing the Giants.
And Austin Eckler about to put up 100-yard receiving game. Heard it here first.
Ali. So I need a tight end to start and trust this week. Pick one. Waller, Kmet, Higbee, or RSJ. This is a points per reception league.
I think it's
Waller.
tough. They do have the noon game, so you will know that, and you can make a decision. I wasn't sure if Oakland had the later game, but they're at KC. Yeah, I'm going Waller if he's active. If not, RSJ.
Samesies.
Eric officially clinched the playoff spot. Let's go. Let's go, Eric. Good for you with last week's win. Who'd you choose between CEH and Lockett at the flex? Non-PPR. Non-PPR, I'm going Clyde Edwards-Helaire. Where do you two reside?
Ride with Clyde.
All right. It doesn't matter what Robbie thinks. We have a 2-0 sweep. Kyle, DeMont, Javonte, Mitchell, PPR pick 2. Kyle, I think this decision is going to be made pretty easily for you.
Yep.
I don't think Eli's going to play, but just in case, if he does, where would you guys land if Eli Mitchell played?
Eli and Monty.
Agree.
Over Javonte?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, no. Javonte's above both these guys for me. Javonte against Detroit over my guy, Monty. And then, Mitchell behind them both. Mitchell's third. Mitchell's
I don't think
third
you have
for
to
me.
worry about it, Kyle.
Yep.
I don't think Eli's playing. Terry, Amari, T. Mooney, pick 2, also point per reception league.
Amari and Terry.
Yes, I agree.
Yeah, I'm gonna go T and Terry.
Ooh, sitting Amari. Okay, Cowboy fan. Takes the star off.
Abandon it.
Uzi, Traquan, Hasty or Tim Patrick in the flex.
Next question.
Full PPR.
No, can't do it.
If Jermichael Hasty starts, if he's the guy, it's Jermichael Hasty.
Yeah.
Now, if Jeff Wilson plays, whatever.
I still might go Hasty if Jeff Wilson plays.
Then I would go Traquan.
I mean, you have Mallet Finger run first.
Yeah, I'm going Tim Patrick.
Tight end at quarterback. I'm gonna go Hasty.
I'm finding Jalen Guyton and on the waiver wire plugging him in.
Or Rashad Penny. Walito, did we get this already?
No.
Oh, well, I apologize, Walito. You know, with the $5.
You can make this happen. Who's better at this? I think Cody maybe has a little bit more expertise in this. Trashing Brandon
earlier
Cooks. This happened a long time ago.
Earlier when the question came up between Gallup and Cooks, I was going to say Gallup, but both of you guys answered Cooks pretty quickly, so I just shut up and moved on to the next question. I would have went Gallup there.
I mean, it is a tough matchup, and Cooks has been.
Tyrod Taylor sucks as well.
Ooh, he went there, Walito. Mark the tape.
You want to talk about someone who hasn't done dick since the middle of the year? Look no further than Brandon Cooks.
Hey, language. This is a child. This is a family-friendly show. Okay, we cannot be dropping all these kind of language. Okay, say earmuffs next time, then you can say whatever it is you want.
Good point.
Fuck Brandon Cooks. Earmuffs.
Oh, damn it. Oh, earmuffs.
LeBron's brain. LeBron James. Gallup or Julio in the flex. 14-man league.
Oh, my God. Do we even see Julio play a full game?
Gallup, yeah. Give me Gallup.
Give me Gallup.
Yep.
I'm going Julio. Julio
has been good when he's played. It's just, does he play and stay? A lot more risk there. A lot more risk.
It's Julio. The correct answer will be Julio. I apologize. It's too late to apologize.
Oh, Lord.
Tam, I have Gay, but Boswell is on waivers. Would you stay with Gay or pick up Boz?
I'd stay Gay.
Yeah. I'd stay with Gay. Or 5. 13 years old. I would stay with Matt Gay as my kicker.
Yes. I'm sorry.
Next question.
How likely is it that Cook plays tomorrow? I don't know. I mean, he's gotten limited practices, so but they haven't really practiced because when you play on Thursday, they don't really get in full practice. Very light practice, basically walkthroughs every day. But they've said he's been getting in limited. It really makes no sense to me. But this is like a desperation play for Minnesota. This is Mike Zimmer. I'm about to lose my job. I have to try to do whatever I can to get a win. So I'm going to put this player's body in jeopardy of further injury or whatever, because it makes no sense. Alexander Madison is like a clone of Dalvin Cook in terms of what they bring to the table and what they can do. So it there's no upgrade here for this. And so to me, it makes absolutely no sense, but it sounds like there's a real shot that he plays. And if he does, then, you got to play him if you got him.
It's good to hear you finally come around on Alexander Madison. I remember those preseason conversations. It's good to hear you come around.
Evan Harrison. I have Monty, drop Gage for Herbert. You can always do that. I have Adams, Chase, Moore, Cooks. 3 wide receivers and a flex. PPR.
Yes, I would drop Gage for Herbert just in case. And then I am going with the first 3 and Bears running back.
Okay. Yeah. Yep. If that's what he's asking, he's asking if Monty's in with these other 4 options. Yeah.
I'm assuming he has to be.
Yeah. Agreed. Yeah. Why are we waiting for him? It's 2-0.
I will allow it. Truth is
moving
dead.
Hey, look, peek behind the scenes. Kevin has taken over the hosting.
Yeah.
I wanted to know what it's like to sit in this chair every once in a while. I enjoy it. I enjoy bringing the fire, the pain, the heat, So if Mixon does not play, do I go Foreman or Chiefs? Darrell Williams. I win, and I'm in. No pressure.
Mixon, if for some reason he is out, which I don't expect, Foreman over Williams. This must be like week 13 or 14. We were just unsure on every question up to this point. We've seen it all.
Well, the thing is with Foreman is the Jags have actually been pretty damn good against the run, considering how trash that team is, and with only have winning 2 games this year. Let me pull this up here. I talked about it on the show. The only running backs to have more than, let's use the arbitrary number of 75 yards against them. Mark Ingram, actually, believe it or not, week 1, but he had 26 carries to get 85 yards. Then you had Derrick Henry with $130. You had Jonathan Taylor with 116, and then you had Sony Michel with 121. That's it. There. Other than that, the next closest one is, let's see, Joe Mixon with 67 yards. Javonte Williams had 64. They've been pretty damn good against the run. Again, especially when you consider this is a team that's been, playing the offenses that are going against them have been playing with a lead the majority of the time.
I like that point. That's a good point. Counterpoint, they've given up a touchdown almost every single week. They have 12 rushing touchdowns given up. So, yes, they've been good against the yardage. They have been about only the Jets have given up more. Well, Chargers, Texans, Jets than the Jaguars. So, I see your point. I don't think they're a defense that I'm shying away from, right? I think we always do this. We're like trying to figure out if it's a good match or a bad matchup. And I think unless it's like a top 3, I know that they shut down running backs. I'm not going to weigh that in too much. And so Foreman.
All of that to say this. Mix is playing, so you don't have to worry about it.
Yeah.
It's not something you have to make. If not, I do think Darrell Williams is in heavy consideration. I mean, him and CEH still split snaps last week. CEH played 50%, and he played 48% of the snaps. So
the touches weren't particularly close.
Carries wise, no. But it was also a game that you would expect that to be that way because the way they ran the football. Darrell Williams is definitely the better pass catcher here, and that part is not close. Anyway,
right.
Evan, I do have Eckler, Mitchell, Monty, Jacobs, Hubbard. Good work.
So you don't have Mitchell, this week, more than likely. Yeah, so it would be. Yeah, so you're putting one of those running backs in at your flex.
Correct.
The three wide receivers, and then one of those backs.
Yeah, it would be
So
Eckler,
Eckler, Monty, Jacobs.
Yeah.
Overcooks, right? Was that
Yeah.
the question? Yeah, I agree.
Which one do I bench? Elijah Moore, Henderson, or James Conner?
Oh,
I mentioned Henderson.
I'm benching, assuming Henderson's back to his normal workload. I'm benching Moore.
That's a fatal flaw. That's a fatal mistake.
Oh,
He
absolutely.
has been fantastic.
Fantastic.
And
absolutely.
now Corey Davis is out.
Yep. Absolutely.
Can we pour one out for Denzel Mims real quick? Like, poor Denzel.
Can we
Mims.
just not? Can we just not talk?
Don't talk about it.
Denzel
Yeah.
Mims?
And the sad thing is that teams were calling them trying to trade for him at the trade deadline,
And they
turned him down. I'm like, what are you doing, Jets? If you're not going to use him, why wouldn't you have traded him?
Wow. What were they offering him? A 2025 seventh round
Who
pick?
cares at this point? It's worth more than him not playing at all,
Yeah.
not playing and not getting any opportunity. Take what you can get.
Great practice player. Great practice player.
So sad.
I wonder if the Chiefs were one of the teams that knocked on that door.
Ooh, don't get me. You're gonna.
Any wide receiver to the Chiefs. Josh. Who are you even excited? Josh.
Do you know how
Gordon.
many times I played Josh Gordon in Showdown? Every time the Chiefs are on, every time the Chiefs are on primetime game, I have at least 3 or 4 Josh Gordon lives. He's always $200 on DK. So, anyways, truth. Julio or Manny Sanders? I'm going Julio.
Oh, hold on. Did we get Cody's on that one? The reason I'm sitting Elijah Moore, New Orleans Saints, I get it. He's been fantastic. Most of that production has come with non-Zach Wilson quarterbacking. And then they get these Saints. I'm going to trust 2 running backs where I expect them to get 15 to 20 touches.
Is Edmonds back this week?
I think he's expected to return.
I thought it was next week that he's back.
I think he's able to come back this week, and from what I read, he's expected to come back. I didn't see any practice reports yet. I don't know if they have the Monday game. Maybe they have the Monday game, don't they? So you wouldn't get a practice report until Thursday.
He was supposed to expect to be, at least as of last week, a close call for this week. So we'll have to wait and see.
Still going James Conner with that touchdown upside.
Even if Chase Edmonds is back?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I think he's earned that because of what he did when Chase Edmonds was here, right? Like, I get it. He might not get 20 carries like he got last week. Maybe it's 12 to 14 carries. Been the better pass catching back. I think that's what's been most eye-opening to me is that Chase Edmonds, who you think has that role, has been not good when he's been on the field pass catching, and James Conner has been fantastic. So I'm curious if they keep splitting that up, what that looks like. But I think James Conner in that touchdown ability in that kind of offense, way more exciting to me than Elijah Moore's touchdown ability. I get it. He's been playing well. Had a touchdown last week with Zach Wilson. Different matchup. The Saints is that matchup where I adjust right there. The top 2 defense against wide receivers.
I'm going to sit Connor.
It's great.
Oh gosh. Oh, wow.
So we have nothing. I said Elijah Mitchell and Connor. You said, okay.
Yes, Saints bottom.
Well, I guess the process elimination means, because that's 2 for Moore, so, and 2 for Connor. So I guess Henderson's the odd man out. I was correct.
Oh, no.
Julio or Emmanuel Sanders? It's Julio for me.
Julio.
Manny.
You had to. You had to, right?
Of course. CB. Hey, guys. Hey, CB. I need one. Renfro, DK, Higgins if he plays, or Evans. I am playing Jefferson in one spot.
Evans. I think we need to have a quick conversation about how good Hunter Renfro, a.k.a. Wes Welker incarnated, has been. Hunter Renfro has been fantastic.
You know what? I will say this: he should give every white person, every pale white person, at least a glimmer of hope that they could possibly play in the NFL. Because if you just took his picture and you just put it out there like a picture in street clothes, and you said, "Is this guy an NFL player?" 100%, everybody says, "Absolutely not. No way, no how." And the funny thing is, he was in the same draft class was like DK Metcalf, right? And and yeah.
The last 2 weeks, 8 catches, 134 yards, 9 catches, 102 yards. Now he gets Kansas City. Oh, man.
He makes me feel like I could come back and play. Maybe I have a shot in the league. I'm still relatively young. I'm not 40 yet. So, maybe I could go out there. I got hands. You see these hands?
I carve up my 3-year-old son in the backyard when I do that Hunter Renfro route.
I would put Josh Norman on skates. Okay, so, anyways, let's answer the question. Only one here. This is
yeah, that's tough.
Because Mike Evans,
it's Evans for me.
Yeah, I'm gonna have Evans ranked over Renfro.
Yeah.
I mean, if Tre'Davious White was still there, it'd be a different conversation. But
I want to say DK Metcalf, but DK Metcalf explosion is coming.
I've been saying that for 4 weeks now.
Just can't trust it with these other options.
All right, so we're going Mike Evans. Alan C. Joe to the C. James Robinson or Brandon Cooks?
James Robinson. That's so funny.
You obviously don't know the rest of those lyrics.
No.
We need plenty earmuffs if we're going to finish that out.
Yeah.
I'm a freak. Oh,
so James Robinson.
James Robinson.
Are you also James Robinson?
Yeah, fuck Brandon Cooks.
Walito, I got a random question since Raylan isn't here to ask one. What's one food that most people like that you absolutely hate?
I don't got one.
That makes sense.
That's a Cody answer if I've ever heard one.
No, I'll eat because the only things that I won't eat, like I don't fuck with olives.
Okay, so you can say
I feel
olives.
I feel like that's not one. What?
You can say olives because a lot of people love olives.
I don't think most people like olives.
I think a lot of people like olives. Who doesn't? I mean, black olives are like
green olives. You have a case.
I could take an entire can of black olives and just sit there and just eat the whole thing.
Now that makes sense to me.
Yeah,
black olives are delicious.
Okay, I'll finish this out. Hawaiian food.
It is definitely.
No, I'm just kidding.
Who goes to Hawaii?
I'm just kidding.
Gets Domino's pizza.
Not Domino's pizza. Quit spreading lies. For me,
Pizza Hut stuffed crust.
For me, it would be chocolate.
Everything.
And you got a chalky milk at the end.
I don't like chocolate. So no chocolates. No candies. None of that.
For me, it's absolutely. I am not a big fan of biscuits and gravy. Every time I say that, people are like, "What is wrong with you? Are you serious?" I'm like, "Yeah, I don't like biscuits and gravy. It's
the combination. Do you like biscuits?
I like biscuits. I just don't like. I'm not a big fan of gravy. I don't put gravy on like mashed potatoes or anything. Like I'm not a big fan of gravy.
It's okay. Safe space.
So question for the chat. Top three Christmas songs. Top 3 Christmas songs. Chat. Let's get that going in the chat. Let us know.
I thought it was going to be related. Uzi does not like olives either, and Aqua wanted to know if we like liver. Aqua, I will fuck up some liver and onions.
Liver is absolutely disgusting. My parents would make it. It is so terrible. The texture of it is weird. So
I'll fuck up some liver and onions.
Earmuffs.
Jerry
I
White in the chat. Judy.
I also eat. Do you guys eat any of the organs from the turkey on Thanksgiving?
I don't like turkey anyways because it's fucking dry. So the people are like, I like ham.
Not all the time. Guy. No, you can do it right.
You've like that. That makes sense because that also tells me like you have never been in a good dynasty league. You've also never had good turkey.
Dynasty is the worst, but that's a conversation for the other day. I haven't got that in a while. Judy, Landry, or Hilliard, half point, pick 2. Which one we sitting? On this, Hilliard. I'm probably going to have to sit Hilliard.
Sitting Hilliard.
Bryce, assuming if all playing, 2 flex spots, full PPR, DK, Debo, Gibson, Monty, Elijah Mitchell, starting wide receivers, Adams, Deontay, starting running back Lenny.
Gibson.
Yes, correct answer.
I didn't see that Debo was expected to be back this week. I mean, it's great news, but I thought he was going to be out a little longer.
Gibson and Monty. And I'm not assuming that Eli Mitchell is playing.
Well, Debo did not practice today. Which, again, we don't care about this week. But he did not return to practice.
It's going to be...
but I will say I saw the update. Debo Samuel did not practice on Wednesday. But the thought is that he should be good to go for Week 14 as of right now.
I'm okay with sitting him for Gibson, who has been getting a ton of work. Monty, who has looked really good.
I'll Gibson and Monty for me.
Gibson and Debo for me if Debo plays. Because I feel like Monty could be game scripted out. But yes, I know he saw more pass catching work last week. But this is also now Justin Fields and not Andy Dalton. So that could be a problem. Playing against the Packers. Alejandro, Hilliard, or Foreman? Didn't we already?
But not for Alejandro.
Well,
yeah, same.
Same, right?
Yeah, Foreman.
You two Foreman, I'm Team Hilliard.
Real quick, just wanted to click on this. He does have a quad injury day to day. So just wanted to note that. Good comment there by Alan.
If Cook plays, who do I sit out of him, Madison, Mixon, and Hubbard?
Madison.
Yeah, if Cook plays, yeah, you're sitting Alexander Madison.
Mm-hmm.
Whenever he played versus the Browns, did he miss a game? Or was he expected to? I can't remember if he did he have that rest in between? I feel like
he had one in between.
Okay.
Early in the year, what we're talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah. He missed a game, came back, then missed another one.
Yeah, he only had in that game. He only had 9 carries. He was targeted 6 times. He only had 6.4. I still think, yeah, you're sitting down as Jaden Madison.
Yeah.
Uzi, Sutton, AJ Dillon, or Renfro, flex PPR. I'm going Hunter Renfro.
Yep.
Mr. THK 1138. Should I start KJ Osborne on Thursday or wait and see if Mike Williams? You don't have to worry about Mike Williams.
He's down.
Yeah. Would you start Van Jefferson over KJ Osborne? Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's close.
Alexis. Yo, what's up, guys? What is up, Alexis? I'm a bit late. Yes. How would you guys arrange my lineup this week? 2 RBs, 2 wide receivers, 1 flex. Najee, Mitchell, Henderson, Barkley, wide receivers, Adam Lamb, Chase, Mike Williams. So let's start with the running backs. We're locking in Najee.
And Henderson.
Yep. Okay. Do you agree?
Henderson over Barkley is
Yeah.
no. I think I'd go. I think I'd go Barkley. I think I'd go Barkley.
2 wide receivers. We don't have to worry about Mike Williams, so we need to sit one between Adams, Lamb, and Chase. I'm sitting Chase.
All right, then we have a flex, so that would be between, I guess, Barkley and Chase.
Barkley.
And then for, I guess it would be Henderson and Chase for Robbie.
And I would go Henderson. I would get the 3 running backs in there with Adams and Lamb. So I think we ended up.
So we
got it.
Same answer.
Look at us go.
Uzi, Conklin or Fant? PPR.
Conklin. That was one of our first ones off the top.
Alejandro.
Conklin.
MG3. Dylan if Cook doesn't play.
Dylan if Cook doesn't play. I'm confused on that. Dylan if Cook doesn't play.
It's probably for the RB2 spot. I'm assuming. So he needs an RB2.
He has Cook. And if Cook sits.
And if Cook does not play, he needs one of those other options.
I follow.
I'd go AJ Dillon.
I would as well.
Okay. CB, I play him in every game in my other league, but I have some good wide receivers in this league. I do not like olives. Uzi, you are fucking wrong. Aqua, you guys like liver? No. B flat soul sacks. Brandon Cooks, Jamal Williams, or Jermichael Hasty. And we should mention, it sounds like DeAndre Swift is trending towards that.
Yeah.
Towards playing. So for me, this one is going to be Brandon Cooks.
You said he's trending towards playing?
It sounds like that he was, last I saw, that there was optimism surrounding DeAndre Swift.
Ooh, not what I heard. I thought he was expected to be out. But I'll probably go Brandon Cooks over Williams and Hasty.
Cooks for me as well.
So DeAndre Swift did not practice today, which I don't care about. Reported that he has been improving.
Yeah, I've got Swift is still a long shot to play in week 14.
We'll see. So, either way, it's still Brandon Cooks.
Okay.
Anything Michael Bublé.
Truth.
I do not like oysters. I think I've had oysters a couple of times.
Yeah, I don't really come across that.
Well, it's because you're in the Midwest.
TN, I thought Kev was going to go the stuffing route as well.
I do not like stuffing either, but I didn't think that was like as big of a thing, because I mean, do people really eat stuffing like on a random Wednesday night? I mean, I suppose some people do, but I would think for the most part people know it's really kind of a once a year thing. Where I felt like business and gravy, I mean, anybody could eat that anytime. So that's why I went that route. CB, my other league now. I lost Allen and Thielen. I'm starting Renfro, need one. KJ or Gallup? I'm going Gallup.
Yeah, go Gallup, because I think if you wait, there is a chance, right, where Keenan Allen could come back. I think you wait and do not start Osborne. Start Gallup if Keenan Allen is indeed out.
Chicken gizzards.
I'm more of a heart, turkey heart kind of guy. The gizzard's okay; it's a little weird, but the liver and the heart is what I normally eat every year.
The Chosen Rose. Start one. Judy, Gage, MBS, Reynolds, Palmer, or Christian Kirk.
Hold on really quick, because I just thought of this. This just entered my mind when I realized that he said chicken gizzard. I witnessed somebody at Walmart yesterday buying like the chicken feet and they were labeled chicken paws. And I saw them like pick it up and physically put it in their shopping cart. And I wanted to be like, what the fuck are you gonna do with that?
You shouldn't try. I can tell that you've never traveled abroad, especially like over in like Europe and places in that range. Because when I was in the Navy, we went to, I think it was in Italy, yes, and we were walking down just like the side roads and everything, and they literally have animals that you would not expect to see hanging up, completely skinned, like a butcher, like cats, like and stuff like that. Like
Cats?
felines, yes,
In Italy?
yes, at a side road, walking down, all kinds of animals just hanging out there. Anyways,
What kind of roads were you on?
hey, sadly enough, I didn't get to see Rome.
We
We
went from something that you can buy in Walmart to I can tell you haven't traveled abroad because you've never eaten a fucking cat skinned up.
I didn't say I ate it. I just said it. I was
happens in Italy, stays in Italy.
Well, yeah. I got completely hammered. I tried to. We had a competition of who could drink the most. It was close, but I lost, and
had to skin a cat.
They had to carry me all the way back to our ship, and then they had to try to shove me. So in the back part of the ship, that's where our our area was, and they tried to shove me down. And it just so happened the captain was walking up at the same time, and they're seeing them try to shove me down the hatch, and they're like, "Hey, you have to let him go right now, right?" And I just go face plant right on non-skid, not good. So Judy, Gage, MVS, Reynolds, or Palmer or Kirk this week.
I picture that. I picture that. You know how you try and get the drunk friend into the car, but the driver's being a little bit of a dick, and he pulls the car forward. I'm imagining that with the ship. They're just moving the ship a little bit forward. No.
It was bad. I don't remember any of that part of it. And I woke up the next day, and so like I had duty the next day, which means you have to go around and stand watch and all that stuff. And I got up late. Of course, I go walking in, and I look like a bag of smashed asshole. Like my belt's like halfway undone, didn't shave, boots not tied up, and I go walking into CCS, which is like our control center for the engineering department. And I come walking in there, and they're like. They were not happy because I missed muster, and so and of course I'm still like half drunk, and I'm like, think I'm badass because I'm like 19, 20, and they were like, ask me why I missed and everything else. They're like, you look like a bag of smashed assholes right now, and I was like, I don't care, whatever. Oh, you don't care, huh? Well, all right, you were supposed to stand one watch, you're going to stand 2 watches today, of course me, 19. I don't care. I was like, I don't care, dude. Whatever, bro. Give me all the watches. I don't care. I felt like terrible death. You got it. You're standing all the watches. Worst day of my life. No. I feel like death. That's why you shouldn't talk. I should have just taken it and said, okay, fine. I apologize. I messed up. That's all I would have gotten. I still had to watch all day. All night.
Judy.
24-hour.
Judy.
Jingle Bell Rock, This Christmas, and Boys to Men, Let It Snow. Good list. Alan, I like those songs too. The Chosen Rose, Dustin Hopkins or Tyler Bass this week?
I appreciate the affirmation for Alan. I like those songs too. Thank you. Tyler Bass. Give me Tyler Bass.
Sure.
Fryermuth or Conklin? Patty Fry for me.
Yeah, but it's very close. I just feel eventually those touchdowns are going to swing to Claypool, and they're not going to say Patty every week, but
All I Want for Christmas, Mistletoe, Last Christmas, I gave you my heart. You remember that?
No, don't remember it. Can you keep going?
It's by Wham, in case you didn't know.
Okay.
Uzi, Connor, Sutton, Dylan, Renfro, Jamal Williams. Choose 3. So Renfro, Connor, and probably Jamal Williams.
Give me Sutton.
I can't do Sutton. I would rather go AJ.
Yeah, Jamal as well.
Walito with the $5 super holla. Jingle bells. Feliz Navidad. This is Christmas time of year. John Lennon.
I didn't know they celebrated Christmas in Canada.
Well, you know.
They just add in Boxing Day on the 26th. Kind of do a little bit of both.
Yeah. Well, you know. TX. Van Jefferson or Ayuk if Debo plays?
Van Jefferson.
Yeah.
Agreed. CB with the rocking around the Christmas tree. Please come home for Christmas. And Merry Christmas, darling.
I'm not sure on that last one.
I think the Please Come Home for Christmas, is that the
It's all garbage.
Darlene Love song?
Sure.
Listen, people are going to be shocked by this, but I usually start listening to Christmas music in like October, and I sometimes listen to it just every once in a while throughout the year.
Around, yeah.
I absolutely love Christmas. It's my
You disgust me.
favorite time of the year.
So jolly.
Christmas is the best. And people always ask me, like, why do you love Christmas so much? Because quite literally, if you could find me on Facebook, all you would see from me on Facebook is literally just a Christmas countdown. I don't post anything. No pictures of my kids. No nothing. It's literally just a Christmas countdown. Every so often.
Yeah, I was going to say, how often?
Every once in a while, a picture of my cat.
No, nothing. Nothing.
Skinny
It's literally
cat.
a Christmas countdown. And then I integrated, because I wanted to upgrade it a little bit more. This year, I started doing fun facts. Like, you know, like the last one was, oh, did you know that Jim Carrey was actually supposed to be Elf and not, but it took him 10 years to get it approved and everything else and develop it. And that's where Will Ferrell became the Elf and not Jim Carrey. That's what I do. That's all I do. It's just Christmas countdown on my Facebook because I hate Facebook, and that's all I put on there.
I think we need to add a podcast to the TFA stream. It's a fun.
You know how bad I wanted it. Like I've thought about like other podcasts because like I would love to do like a TV show like the Yellowstone. You guys, I don't know if you guys watch Yellowstone.
We do. I do.
I fucking love Yellowstone, and I would love to do a podcast like just a something like, or a Christmas podcast. That would be fantastic too. Just something different. Maybe we need to implement something like a podcast where it's not football, where we can just talk about whatever. I mean, maybe nobody listens to it, but it'd still be fun in my opinion.
And there goes the listeners.
Yeah. Sorry, guys. Anyways, Aqua, Run DMC, Xmas, and Hollis. Feliz Navidad. I have not heard of the last one.
And you call yourself a Christmas
what a
aficionado.
But just real quick on this, Alexis, we didn't forget Eli Mitchell. We're just assuming that he doesn't play, so that's why we didn't mention Eli Mitchell.
And I'd have him behind the other options. I would have Mitchell behind Barkley and Henderson for me.
I would have him above Barkley, but
man, you guys are low on Barkley against Chargers run defense. Kev, that is very surprising from you.
So I'm not that low. I mean, he's actually one of the guys that I talked about in my must start running back video.
Well, you're not starting him in this situation. Must start.
Running back that they have that makes it tough. Like I think so. I mean, with Saquon, it's been tough because like I talked about yesterday. Like it's not him. Like it's the problem. Not necessarily him. It's how bad this offense has been. He only has 11.
Yeah,
I learned a phrase.
Don't spread that around. Don't teach that to the kids.
This
is a family-friendly show. I've heard.
I know that one.
Yeah. Hey, we do all kinds of stuff here. What's the other one that we've talked about? Oh, the
balls through hot sand.
I don't even know how that came about. Like what prompted that for me to say that. But yeah, that was another one. Drag my balls for 7 miles.
Hot broken? Sand. No, isn't it broken glass? I think.
No, it's dragging my balls through 7 miles of hot sand.
Yeah,
I don't remember the rest of
glass. Oh boy.
Anyways,
have you guys ever heard of shit deep to a tall giraffe's ass?
No, I haven't. I was today years old when I heard that.
There's one for you.
Drop one. Dylan, Miles Sanders, Jamal Williams, Melvin Gordon, Devonta Smith, Ayuk.
MG3?
Him or Jamal Williams. I mean, I guess you can hang on Jamal Williams for one more week, but
Yeah.
if you're not starting,
I know
Williams,
it's kind of crazy, but I think if you really wanted to, you could drop Ayuk.
I'm keeping Miles Sanders and I'm keeping Smith for sure.
Yeah, and I'm not dropping AJ Dillon.
Oh, I missed that one. Yeah, not AJ Dillon. I'm fine with the other three. Take your pick.
Smokey the Cat. What's up, guys? What's up, Smokey? Clinch playoffs. Wanted to ask about Week 15. Would you play your studs even if matchup isn't favorable or line up based on match? Thanks.
Probably case by case basis. When you guys say, I mean, in general, I think from what we have said, is most of the time we're still rolling out that stud that we think is going to have the volume, but it's definitely case by case basis because.
Yeah, but I think.
Go ahead.
No, I think I would say, but that changes so much this year. Like, I mean, there's so many studs that aren't really studs anymore, right? Like Zeke Elliott, a stud.
It depends
anymore,
on your option,
right?
Right.
No, I mean, if you have better options, I mean, I would sit Zeke. I mean, he's or even Saquon. So we talked about a lot of these guys just aren't producing at the level that we expected. And so to say that start your studs, I think at this point of the year is just kind of played out. Early in the year, yeah, because we don't really, we don't have all the answers yet. We're still trying to figure everything out. Stuff like that. Yes, it's probably more advantageous to play those guys. But now I don't think you have to. And right now in the playoffs, it's a 1 week deal. Like you're out, there is no next week, right? And so to me, I would much rather play guys in favorable matchups with opportunity than the opposite of that.
Yeah, again, matchup specific. Who do you have? Who are the options?
Yeah, come back Week 15. Cat.
Allen, trust Dak or go get Taysom Hill.
Trust Dak.
Yeah. Has he been that bad? Am I missing something?
He hasn't been great.
I mean, last week against the Saints, obviously not fantastic, but 25-point game. Week before, Kansas City was just atrocious all the way around. But I mean, other than that, he's a 20-point a week quarterback. With two, I think you're kind of scared because you've had 2 games recently that have been pretty bad. But you get Washington, Giants, Washington, Arizona. I think you're fine.
Grandma got run over, but that's a good one too. That's a good one.
For ranking, it's really not like that's got to be down there a ways. If you're ranking all these Christmas songs,
it's still a good song. I didn't say it was an elite
it's cool
song.
if you're 8, right?
What about the hippopotamus song? That's a good one too.
Oh, I don't know this one.
Oh, the Eagle.
Cody is so over Christmas talk. I can just see it on his face.
Hey, we're only a couple weeks away from the greatest day of the year. Okay,
I do like the hippopotamus song.
I don't know it. Oh man.
Where does Cam Akers get drafted in 2022? Love this question. Also, do you guys think that he returns in the playoffs? Because I think there's an actually chance of it happening. Because they have not. He is eligible to return, and there has been more and more talk coming out about him being back for the playoffs.
I think that question answers your second question. If he comes back in the playoffs and you see some kind of semblance of what he can be, or that he's maybe not 100%, but he can still run the football, I think you're going to see a huge boost in his stock. I think either way, he will still be a top 15 to 20 running back. And I think if you see him come back in the playoffs, I think that shoots up to second round or earlier. I think people will get very excited.
The Cam Akers injury is one of the ones that it hurt. It hurt a little bit.
Yeah.
Because I loved Cam Akers heading into this year. Loved Cam Akers. So still do love Cam Akers. And I really don't care about the injury that he had. I don't think we have enough information to go off of to try to put the fear into everything about it. I know in the workouts, which again, it's just him working out. He just looked great. I mean, I was surprised this in advance. I mean, it was even a month and a half ago. We're seeing him out there making all these cuts and everything else. And so that's why I think there's a real chance that he does come back. Would it be smart for the Rams to do it? I don't know. I don't know if they absolutely need it, but it sounds like there's some sort of a possibility. But where he gets drafted in 22, I think he's probably a top 15 running back. I think
round 2 or 3. Yep.
Tam, with the classic "All I Want for Christmas" by Mariah Carey, "Run Run Rudolph,"
That's a good one,
and "Let It Snow" by Boyz II Men.
That's a strong list.
Cody, what is your top 3 favorite Christmas songs?
God.
I really don't like Christmas songs.
What is wrong with you?
First guest on the Christmas podcast will be Cody. Have a little debate.
I like the hippopotamus song.
What about like Trans-Siberian Orchestra? They got a lot of good ones. Christmas Canon is an excellent one by them.
Does that really count as a song though? There's no lyrics, right?
It's a song. Yeah, you can have songs with no lyrics. That's the thing.
Yeah, but I don't.
Yeah.
I wouldn't consider it a song.
Yes, Alexis, you guys start a podcast. Alexis, we actually have a podcast. It's you can go find it at fantasyauthority.com. Or
We
Facebook.
put things on it
You can go search
every
for it
other
on your
week.
podcast app, the Fantasy Authority. We actually have a pod, but generally speaking, because the Dynasty guys have just been slacking tremendously, and there's been not putting out that many pods, they usually put out a pod that's different that you're not hearing on our YouTube feed. And then we also have the Debbie pod, right?
Yep.
And that is also
also questionable.
Yes. But in terms of just an overall, like I said, I would just love to do like a non-football related podcast where we just bullshit.
That would go so long.
Well, I mean, we would have a topic and we'd actually have. But
You know what we should do? We all watch Ozarks, right?
Yes, that's a good one too.
Should we start it with Ozarks?
I need to rewatch.
You guys don't watch Yellowstone?
I do. I told you I do.
I haven't. Did we?
Oh,
I
you
don't.
are missing out.
It's a very Midwest themed show, Cody. I feel like
I guess, but like
if you're in the Midwest, you just
I've
they
seen
literally
good
hit on
things.
any trope for a Midwest conservative cowboy. Like I was waiting as a guy from South Dakota. I was like, man, I wonder when they're going to talk about the Sturgis rally. I'm kidding. The same episode that I say that they run into a biker gang and they talk about Sturgis. Like it was just like
so if you if you watch any of the Bunkhouse, which is the YouTube. The YouTube show they do with some of the guys from the Bunkhouse on that show. Taylor Sheridan is actually what was on Sons of Anarchy, and the executive producer was the executive producer for Sons of Anarchy. So that's where that came. That intertwined was with that. That's why that was on there. Anyway,
you had to. It's so close to.
But
Montana.
Kevin Costner is a terrific actor, and so he does a great job with it. The show is excellent. I highly recommend Cody going and watching it. You will not be disappointed. Excellent show. Any props for tomorrow?
I do like Deontay Johnson's receptions and yards at 6.5 and 79.5. I think it's up to 80.5 on DK, but if you're on FanDuel, 6.5 and 79.5. And I didn't look at any of the rushing numbers yet, but Justin Jefferson on the other side, and then depending on how low you got KJ Osborne, I think he opened up at like the high 30s, and that's been pushed up to like 45. But Jefferson and Deontay for me. I think Claypool is interesting as well.
I wonder what Judy's at. I think that'd be an interesting one.
For tomorrow?
Yeah, if you guys, I don't know where Judy's at. I bet Tom will be all over that once he jumps on with you.
Judy?
Yeah, I think Jerry Judy
For
guy.
tomorrow?
The Broncos don't play tomorrow.
Oh, what is it for tomorrow? I'm sorry.
I was like, oh my god, am I?
I guess I was assuming that they were talking about
like,
for the show. That's a good call.
Is the prop show is back this week, right? Prop Talk is back this week.
I think I'm going to have the
Probable.
Are you probable?
Expected to play.
Yeah, expected to play.
Alexis. So I'll go Najee Henderson at running back, Tay and Lamb at wide receiver, and Barkley at flex. Thanks, guys. Much love.
Yes.
Much love to you, Alexis. Been good having you around here this year, and even better having you in the Discord. Alejandro starting Lamar, Najee, AJ Dillon, Diggs, Cook, Kupp, Ertz, Lamb, bench, Cook, Mike Evans, Gesicki on bye, Miles Sanders on bye, MG3, Devontae Smith, Ayuk, Waivers, Edmonds, and Freeman. So first, I guess, are we doing anything with the starting lineup? If Dalvin Cook plays, I'm benching A.J. Dillon for Dalvin Cook.
Correct. No, nothing with a bench. Freeman, I guess, would be the interesting one over A.J. Dillon. Seems like that's where you guys are leaning.
Yeah, and I would go Devonta Freeman.
Who would you drop, though?
Probably Melvin Gordon.
Well, I would drop, or Gesicki, I think you could drop. I think I would drop Gesicki. I mean, you want to carry 2 tight ends?
No. But Gesicki's definitely a better tight end than Ertz most weeks.
I don't know. But I mean, it's going to be a little more questionable now with Devontae Parker back.
Yeah, I'd drop MG3 or Ayuk, pick up Edmonds and or Freeman.
Yeah. Lex, again, I'll ask on the Discord tomorrow. Everybody should join the Discord, by the way. You should. If you are not in the Discord, it is absolutely free. There's a lot of people in there. There's always conversation going on in our Discord. And like I said, there's a lot of places that have like paywalls and you have to pay to be able to join the Discord, and they kick you out if you stop paying. Whatever. This is absolutely free. We got DFS, we got redraft, we got dynasty. So if you're into that sort of thing, I don't know people. I guess the people are, but not for me. Devi is in there. You know, Devi Kevy makes an appearance every once in a while. Drop some Devi fire. You know, anyways. And we got the prop channel in there. So it is, like I said, it's absolutely free. So if you don't like it, you can leave. You know, or you could turn it off, whatever. So we'll drop a link in the description or in the comments so somebody can join. Look at that, coming in clutch with the link. So, like I said, absolutely free. Would love to see everybody jump over there to the Discord. Alejandro starting Allen, Pollard, Henderson, Justin Jefferson, Ayuk, Kelsey, Landry, bench, A-Rob, Foreman, McKissick, Alex, Collins, Beasley, Hines.
Yep, looks good to me. Not making any changes there.
I agree. Smokey the Cat. Tight end, Seals, Kmet, or Everett. I'm going to go RSJ.
Yep.
Sam. Paper chaser. Should I stash Antonio Brown? Yeah, I think you could.
Yeah.
I mean, he's not coming back until, what is it, week 16?
2 more weeks, I think.
Yeah. And so, I mean, hopefully you're still in the playoffs now by then. But, yeah, I think it doesn't hurt to stash him because if he comes back, I mean, he could be somebody that helps you out. I mean, we saw whenever he was healthy and ready to go there, I thought that, he was a strong, kind of wide receiver 3 every single week. So I think you can stash him.
Yeah.
Legendary pest control. J.K. Dobbins hurt more for me. Yeah, I agree. Well, I don't agree. That did not hurt more for me, but it hurt whenever he went down. Let me put it that way.
What hurt more for
Cam
me?
Akers was Bay. It was between him and Antonio Gibson were like Bay this offseason.
It sucked whenever I traded for Gus Edwards before the J.K. Dobbins news happened in a dynasty league. I was like, you know what? I have a feeling about Gus Edwards. He was one of my favorite like double digit for redraft as well. So I traded for him in dynasty. Then J.K. Dobbins goes down. I was like, holy shit! Here we go, baby. Let's go. That was also on a team where I have on that dynasty team I have Barkley, Gibson, and Mixon. So I was like, I'm going to roll out these 4 running backs every week. I'm set. Life is great. And then it wasn't.
You know what's funny too, because like the injury happened, and there was like all this buzz about Gus Edwards.
Right.
Gus Edwards, lock him in. He's got to be a top 15 running back this year. All this excitement, and then all of a sudden, boom, pour one out for the homie. Gus Edwards is gone, and then it was Tyson Williams. You know, looked like he was going to be a thing really early in the year.
Justice Hill also got injured for.
Oh yeah, and Justice Hill,
right?
Yeah.
So they lose
Marcus
3.
Peters, right?
Yeah, Marcus Peters towards ACL.
Was that the
same practice as Dobbins? That was same practice as Dobbins.
Right. It was the next play, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Crazy.
But I still really don't know what Tyson Williams ever did to lose because like the first game I thought I was like, okay, the first regular season game that he played, I was like, okay, he actually looked explosive. He looked good. I was like, okay, this guy might be a little bit of a player. And then not so much.
And he wasn't.
Great show. Thank you. Appreciate that. Lupe. I'm starting 3 wide receivers, Evans, Mooney, and Van Jefferson. Do you think I should get off of waivers? Jalen Guyton and start him over any of the 3 wide receivers or just stay with what I have? I would stay with what you have.
Keep it.
Enjoy listening to you guys. Thanks for the entertainment. Anytime for the peeps. By the way, who would you start? Julio, Van Jefferson, or KJ? I'm going Julio.
Van Jeff.
Yeah. Kev, I think you made the best argument when you were against Tannehill is that pass volume is likely to be low. And so I'm going to take Van Jefferson. But it is close.
Drop Bass for Carlson.
Yeah, I think so. Bass kicking in Buffalo with 3 more home games is not ideal given what we saw on Monday.
Tam, Discord rocks. Yes, it does. Kyle, start Conklin or Pitts?
Pitts.
I like how you say that with so much confidence.
Can't quit Pitts, he says. Can't quit Pitts. Yeah.
I'm going with Conklin.
Yeah, Pitts.
Key. I have 2 weeks left before the playoffs, playing against the number 1 guy this week and playing against the number 10 last place guy on week 15, then playoffs on week 16 and 17. Let's go. Legendary pest control. Tyson's blocking was no good. Yeah, I know. He actually caused the fumble right? Because he got completely blowed up. And then that's what caused Lamar to fumble the ball. Yeah. There's a lot of running backs that are terrible. That's also, honestly, that's Ty Johnson's biggest problem. He is a terrible pass blocker. Terrible. He's terrible in pass pro.
Pass blocking and ball security. I would know as a Rojo stan.
Well, Rojo's always been terrible. Remember Keyshawn Vaughn? Wasn't that fun time? Wasn't that fun? For a couple of months. Fun times.
Hey, last year the contract for all 3 of those running backs in front of him. Don't lose hope.
We'll see. Wouldn't that be great if all of a sudden it's Keyshawn Vaughn year 3 breakout?
They all leave and he's there.
He also has Osborne on the bench. I don't think that really changed anything what we had.
Nah. Right? Evans, Mooney, and Van Jeff.
That's what I thought. I really like Tyson Williams as a Ravens fan, but I like Freeman as well right now. This has been such a weird year. I think we already discussed earlier too, but like Devonta Freeman being a thing this year, Cordaro Patterson being a thing this year. I mean, there's so many of these players that like you would have told me at the beginning of the year this is where we would be, and I would laugh. Like, no way. Devonta Freeman was going to be a thing. And he's definitely a thing.
Yeah, I mean, even like Debo, right? Like Debo was an 8th round pick in redraft.
Yeah.
We get some of those every year, right? But it's just this year, I feel like you haven't been able to rely, especially on wide receivers. Like any wide receiver can have a 2-point or worse game. Like nobody's been immune to it this year. Shocking.
No, and I mean, it's been an absolute disaster at the running back position with so many injuries. Whether it hasn't been as much players being out for the year, but you have a lot of guys just getting hurt. Every single week, missing a little bit of time. It's just been a wild year. I mean, really, if you had Jonathan Taylor,
Cooper Kupp, who has avoided that, and the last couple of weeks, you're kind of worried going into the second half. You're like, maybe this is the week that Cooper Kupp can't do it. One drive. 4 receptions, 96 yards, and you're okay.
Yeah, Alejandro, I see, brings up A-Rob. A-Rob's a good one, too. Like, we all loved A-Rob. I mean, how do you go from all the terrible quarterbacks? And that's why I truly believe that, like, he just doesn't care this year because he wants off this team. He wants no reason for them to try to bring him back. And like I've said, I don't think he plays the rest of the year, and I think he's going to sign somewhere, and I think he's going to return back to being the Allen Robinson we all know. I don't think he's washed or anything like that. I just don't think he really gives a shit. I know there was all the reports that he was not happy whenever they franchised him. So
this one for Andrew is going to be the Rams back for me.
Same.
Dale, who hurt you, buddy? What's
cost me all my entries? Entries into what?
Horrendous? Dale, who hurt you?
Hey, you guys.
It's not even a real name, Dale.
You guys need to
don't blame us for your parents naming you Dale. That's not our fault.
Hey, Dale, I'm sorry I was not here to kind of correct that.
Well, I don't even know what they mean by entries. What do you mean by entries?
Yeah.
Is this DFS?
That's DFS. I think that's
because I feel like because looking back at our. We did pretty good with DFS last week. With the plays we had, we were on Herbert, we were on Tom Brady, which Tom Brady was no shocker. The running back plays we talked about were good. So I don't know. I don't know where this is coming from, Dale. Listen, I hope you have a better day. Positive only. Hey, it's Christmas time of the year. Positives only in here, Dale. Here, come on in. Come on in for the hug. Come here. Dale, come here. Don't try to. Dale, come here. Let's hug it out, okay? All love, Dale, here at the TFA.
Except from Dale, apparently.
Yeah.
So I don't even know what he's talking about. And Dale may not even really be a real person. I don't even know. He does. CTN, see? So
is that it on the Christmas topics?
On that note.
Well, I mean, obviously people are troll. People are gonna troll, and I'm not gonna. Oh no, I got to keep on moving. So not gonna bring me down.
Dale, this is a house of learned doctors. So, as it was
probably the nicest quote you could have pulled.
And the only thing that I would say too, like, it's not even about DFS, but it's just about any of this. Like, at the end of the day, they're your fantasy teams. It's your money on DraftKings. It's your money on player props. Like, you should never blame somebody else for. To me, like with this, like I obviously love helping and like giving advice, but like at the end of the day, it's still your fantasy team. You have to set your lineups, right? And you have to make those decisions for you. So blaming somebody else is always the worst, like, because like it's your decision. To me, if I'm going to ask a question about something and like I want to know, like if I put something out there, I want to see what other people's opinion is, and if it's different from my own, I want to know why and see if there's something that I'm missing in my own process of understanding of how I feel about that. But the people that blame other people over it is just the worst, because like I said, at the end of the day, it's your stuff. Like it's you have to make the decision. You're the one pressing the entries. So,
hey, hold on, real quick. The people want to know, Kev.
This was Robbie. This was actually brought up last week as well.
Okay, and what was the answer?
But it was about the Santa suit. I can't remember if Alexis said something. I don't think it was Alexis.
It wasn't Alexis last week.
We got to know.
Do we what?
Are you washing the hat? Are we just throwing it back on? Is it only for the shows? Are you wearing that to work? Give us the information on this hat. Oh, beautiful.
Do you think I can wash? I mean, this mechanism
so.
in here would not work anymore if it was washed. I hit it with some Febreze, Okay, it's a hat. Do people
He
wash their hats all the time?
uses his son's Axe body spray.
I do. I hit it up. Spray it up in
Firefox
there.
kid just Axe.
Yeah.
Lupe, is Ricky Seals-Jones available? I'd rather play Ricky Seals-Jones over Jared Cook.
You guys like Jared Cook a little bit more if Allen and Williams are both out.
Yeah, if they're both out, I would like him a little bit more. But I think it could also be Steven Anderson, Donald Parham. I think that like all those guys get involved. I don't think it's strictly.
Yep, I think we know that the tight end targets are going to the number one tight end for Washington, and that'll be RSJ. So I agree with that.
Kev, did you block Dale? I didn't block
no,
Dale.
nobody blocked you, Dale.
See, now, Dale, you're coming in and telling lies. You're not speaking truth. You weren't blocked.
If you were blocked, Dale, your comments wouldn't show up anymore, Dale. So if you were blocked, the comments wouldn't be here anymore, Dale.
Exposed.
Okay? Don't come in here, Dale, with that, okay? You can miss me on that. John Cena style. You can't see me. Jackson, if that's your real name.
You don't have a cousin.
What do you guys got here?
This is okay. So this is another. So Game of Thrones is amazing. I know people complain about the last season and it ruined the show for them. I will say I wish they would have made it 2 seasons because they sped it up. The first half with the White Walkers and everything should have been its own season, and doing all of that. They had the whole build up to that, and then the next should have been the second half. It was too sped up. Regardless, if I'm ranking them, I'm going Game of Thrones 1, Sopranos 2, Breaking Bad 3.
That is correct.
Man, now there's a Wally Woodpecker in here. This is amazing. How many accounts does this man have? Good for you, Wally, or
Thanks.
Jackson, or Dale.
The artist formerly known as Dale.
And for whatever reason, we just keep going on different accounts.
For no reason. I've seen 2 episodes of Sopranos and 0 of Game of Thrones, so I will go Breaking Bad by default.
That's a basic comment. Thomas, Dale is Kevin Durant. Did you guys get the joke?
Say that again.
Dale is Kevin Durant.
Changing teams?
No, he got caught with burners. With burners on Twitter. It doesn't. It's not a good joke if you have to explain it to somebody.
I wasn't that far off. Burners, changing teams, changing accounts. Same thing. All right, what do we got here on the bench? Kev got your boy Air Bear, Pollard, Gallup. Obviously, we don't need to worry about anybody on me. We putting anybody in the bench in over the starters? Lamar, Jones, Dillon. Who are we putting in for Dillon? We don't want to start both of those Green Bay backs.
Man, we are about this is like the ultimate game stack lineup here.
I'm getting Waddle in that starting lineup over Lockett. He is really hard to sit.
Not this week.
They're on bye, buddy.
Well, then we'll hold off.
Week 14.
We'll hold off. We're going to hold off on this week. He might struggle this week, but we're going to get him back in there next week. Yeah, no, you're probably staying with what you got, but man, that's tough having both those backs. But would you guys go Pollard over A.J. Dillon? I guess that's not the worst thing. I think you can go Pollard over A.J. Dillon if you want to have a better variance there.
Yeah, I don't want to start both those Green Bay backs. I guess if Pollard plays. And if Pollard doesn't play, I think I would just put Clyde in for A.J. Dillon and put in Gallup if Pollard doesn't play. I really don't want to start both those Green Bay backs.
Yeah, I guess I'm expecting Pollard to play. Well, I guess we'll see. See if he practices tomorrow.
Yeah, I expect him to play too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just if he doesn't,
Yep.
that's how I would lean. Speaking of the Green Bay backfield, Aaron Jones.
I mean, not as good because I think we've seen AJ Dillon have some success, right? And Aaron Jones has never been the full workhorse for most of his career, so it's not as good, and his touchdowns have not been there this year as they have in the past. But I still think most weeks I'm ranking him as an RB1. I just don't know if he has that RB3 ceiling that he had the past 2 years. So still pretty good. You're starting him unless something crazy happens with your lineup, but yeah, definitely different ceiling.
Gage or Devonta Freeman?
I'm going Freeman.
Freeman for me as well. Osborne, Gage, Julio. I'm going Osborne, Tyler.
I'm going Julio.
I'm going Russell Gage. But it's close between Gage and Julio.
I guess
So-
we'll give the edge to Julio there since that is the closest thing we could come up with. Appreciate the question, Tyler Ashton. Freeman, pick up Foreman or Herbert, or was it Saquon, Clyde, and Dillon?
I think Foreman. I don't think Herbert has much standalone value if Monty's healthy.
No. Yeah.
Is there any way you
it's
can
complete handcuff.
pick up both just in case? Because if Monty is out, I'd rather play Herbert. But obviously, if Monty plays, then Herbert has no value. But I don't think you're starting any of them over the three you have. So I wouldn't worry about it.
Yeah, I just think with your depth, you probably want Foreman. If you had better depth, I actually like Herbert as kind of that home run if something happens to Monty. We've seen Herbert have all those touches and be good with it. So if you're a confirmed team where you have the space on your roster, Herbert's probably the better stash, but just not a lot of depth there. I'd rather have Foreman, who is getting carries. We've seen him be good with those carries.
Packers, Saints, Broncos, D.
Broncos against the Lions. Packers are not a bad option either, but Broncos would be my pick.
Kev, were you going to say something?
Go ahead.
So for me, Alexis, you've obviously missed our talks on this, but 4th of July is first. Thanksgiving, because of football.
There's football on Christmas this year, buddy.
Christmas, 3rd.
2 games. Two games on Christmas this year.
Halloween, and then Easter.
Such a pagan answer.
If that were true, I'd put Easter first since that is a pagan holiday.
I think this is just for you. So we're next.
Well, I didn't know if anybody else wanted to chime in. Let's go. 12-1. Let's go.
That's good. And I think with what we've been saying about this season and how weird it's been with other than Cooper Kupp and JT, it's been hard to have a team that's been that consistently good, like having a 13-0 or 12-1 team. So I think that's very, very impressive. You have to withstand a lot of droughts from some of your studs, probably.
Well, the last one, Kev. Dale might be the MVP.
Walito said, "Watch come back with his 5th account now."
And then
boom,
that rolls in.
immediately. Stanky backside.
I mean, the names are getting better.
Yeah, Wally Woodpecker is definitely my favorite.
And then, yeah, I think
I appreciate the effort and the now we're getting creative. So at least
the tone's turning around too. I think.
What if it's actually like kind of like a Scooby Doo type, and like we end up pulling the mask back and it's actually Walito.
I was gonna say Walito's the clear and obvious.
We talked bad about Brandon Cooks and now all of a sudden, as soon as that happened, we started getting the imposter in. Seems a little sus, as the kids would say, And
all right.
And then now we get this, but this has actually been fantastic. So Wally.
Oh, it's just that word.
Oh, well, if it's not, either way, Wally, Dale, it's been great.
So Gesicki, Conklin, and RSJ.
I think we've always said doesn't make sense to carry multiple tight ends. That said, I'd want to see what the rest of the roster looks like and then the rest of the waivers. And if we find someone else that can be on your team except for a second tight end, I'd do that. But if you're carrying 2 tight ends anyways, I would drop Conklin, put in RSJ. He does have a fantastic schedule.
Yeah. RSJ's the guy that I want. Start 2 for Ashton, Pollard, Madison, Jarvis, Sanders, St. Brown.
It's getting wild in these chats, boys.
Way to go, Cody, with the professionalism. Just keep the show moving. Not letting us get off track again. Pollard, start 2. I
mean, it's Madison for sure. And
as long as Cook doesn't play.
Correct.
Which we'll obviously know about.
I'm going to go Madison. Oh, man. That second one's a little... This feels like this is chasing points, but I'm going to go Madison and St. Brown. I don't think they're going to move the ball on the outside, and I think that bodes well for St. Brown on the inside against the Broncos.
Yeah. Let me go Madison as long as Cook doesn't play. Sanders is going to be my 2. And if Cook does play, Pollard.
If Cook's out, it's Madison and it's Pollard. If Cook plays, it's Pollard and Jarvis.
I don't mind Jarvis either. I lean Sanders just in that projected game script. Best flex half PPR Madison Cooks.
Madison
basically
just Cook out.
Yeah.
Or Cook Cook is out.
Appreciate you, Catilla.
Oh, I've been more in the last couple of minutes just paying attention to what's going on in the chat. I haven't anything else.
It's good.
Yeah, this is
TFA after hours. This is.
No.
Who's his other?
Yeah,
Who's
who's
deep?
who's your starting defense, William? But I don't think you need to do that. Like, I don't think Sam Fran is a must start this week against Cincy. And then their schedule.
Their schedule gets really good, if I remember correctly. I would like to find a way to get them if you can. Where's their schedule?
No, we don't want to carry multiple defenses.
I mean, I'm not worried.
Yeah. I mean,
and this is the last week of buys. What's the point?
Falcons, Titans, and Texans.
My first thing is I think you can probably drop your current defense. I think they play well enough that even against Cincy, they'll be okay. They're not going to be great. They're not going to be terrible. And then you're only carrying one defense. But if you're in a position where you're most likely not starting Parker, I'm fine with dropping Parker for a defense I can use 3 straight weeks and 3 great matchups in the playoffs. I'm absolutely fine with carrying a second DST for 1 week for that advantage. I would definitely try and add 49ers. They have one of the best schedules.
Saints defense is the other D.
And they have who this week? Remind me. Jets.
Lord.
Yeah, you're probably wanting to start Jets. I mean, I'd want to know the rest of his wide receiver positions, but I am absolutely fine dropping Devontae Parker in most situations.
Whoa. No, we're not comfortable dropping Devontae Parker. I'm not dropping Devontae Parker. I think Devontae Parker the rest of season is going to be probably a top 36 wide receiver ROS. Which is not a very long time period, obviously, but regardless, I still think he's going to be a strong option for most people.
I mean, maybe. But is he starting him? You know what I mean? Like, does it matter?
Yeah, but again, we shouldn't be carrying 2 of every position now. I mean, buys are over, right? And so, like, we had this last week, and so there's no reason to be carrying 2 of every position anymore. You know, we should have just stopped that a long time ago. We're wasting valuable roster spots that you could be making your team better, right? And
I think it's a valuable roster spot to get a defense that plays the Texans, the Titans, and I forgot the third team already, but Falcons.
Well, that's fine. Just carry the one. And unless you absolutely have to carry one for just this week because somebody you have, then fine. But moving forward, like, and he said he had 2 kickers too. There's no reason to have 2 kickers.
Well, if he's looking at dropping
except defense and kickers. So basically, the only thing we care about is 2 quarterbacks and 2 tight ends, right?
Right. And so if Gesicki is his second tight end and he's got somebody else that's worth starting, we'll appease Kevin and not carrying 2 tight ends, throw on that DST that you can ride the entire playoffs. And then you don't have to play the streaming game each week. I think
and he's already locked up a bye, so he sees players for week 16 and 17. So
yeah, drop the Saints then. If you've locked up the bye, you don't need the Saints this week.
Yeah.
I drop the Saints and I would get 49ers is what I would do.
Yeah. You drop Gesicki too, if Kittle was your guy.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Would you drop Gesicki if one of these other teams is tight end needy? Because you're probably dropping him. Who's on waivers? KJ Osborne. I don't think I want to release Mike Gesicki for someone to pick him up and use him against me later in the playoffs potentially. He's at that level where I don't know. That'd be close. I'd want to see the other teams' rosters. I think it's worth a conversation, but
yeah, I guess depending on who you'd be dropping him for.
Because if someone's rolling out Jared Cook or something like that, they've been struggling streaming guys, and you drop Gesicki to the waivers. I think that hurts.
Right. Have you guys watched Money Heist?
I have not.
No.
I have not either. Godfather 1 or 2? I've only seen 1, so.
I've seen 1 and 2, but it's been a while.
I think I'll go with the first one.
Yeah.
Any worries with Monty?
And it's apple pie for me, for the record.
Oh yeah. Let's get to that. It's more important. Apple's last.
Wow. I like a good. Now, is it pecan or pecan?
Pecan.
It is pecan.
Yep.
Right.
Single.
Most players to say pecan.
Single E. Single E. Yep.
Now, this one also depends on: am I just eating it plain, or do I get my topping of choice? Because if I can get, the cherry pie a la mode, give me the cherry with the ice cream. But if we're talking just like plain with nothing on it, like no whipped cream, no ice cream, nothing, it'd be pumpkin 1, cherry 2, pecan, and then apple.
Okay.
Sam, not as of today. It was a little unnerving to see the 3 or 4 things he was listed with, but especially with you being 12-1, I wouldn't worry about it. But if for insurance, if you could drop someone to go pick up Herbert just in case, it's not a terrible idea, because we do like Montgomery's schedule the rest of the season. If for whatever reason he was out, missed any time, could definitely go that route.
I mean, he has missed time already this year, but I don't think it's that big of a deal. Like, I think it's a Monday or it's a Wednesday, giving a little bit of a rest. There was nothing indicating that he was hurt afterwards. So I think it's more of just a maintenance day, getting him some time off.
Where is this one?
2 above. What? Right below Walitos. Right below.
I'm not even seeing that one. Anyway. Oh, man.
Yeah.
Not Lawrence.
I'm going Taysom. You have to with this rushing upside.
Yeah. Even in a bad game from him, it probably is still where Heineke's been at, right? 15 to 18 points. I mean, what did he have? He had 4 interceptions, and I think he still had.
Yeah, 24. He still had 4 picks. Yeah.
Yeah. I think you probably got to go Taysom there.
Man, those couple comments were not showing up for me. Now I see them, but that's why I jumped to Tam's question. Yeah,
we'll put Madison here.
Yeah,
as long as Dalvin Cook is out.
Tam, what kind of dog do you have? Curious.
And then we just got all you are some handsome. I would agree with that. I have obviously am the 101. But
comment.
Chat, let us know who's
that's Stash from Cody. I think that might. What do you call it? The longest sideburns in history?
I have the.
Do you remember the person commented on his mustache? Said something about like
not
being connected or something like that.
Different.
I died laughing when
on a separate video. A second comment as well.
I just lost it when I saw.
Yeah, I have the world's longest sideburns. Nothing on my face connects.
Oh my god!
Oh, I love it.
Nothing. Just a straight. It's super smooth too, which is the weirdest thing.
I cannot believe you said. I can't believe. I've never known. I knew the other part, but the under part that is hilarious.
This goes all the way through. He was messing around with Nair and messed it all up.
I call it the thinking man's beard.
Rubbed it away.
Oh, boxer pet. Cute. That's that is step 2 after we get a house. Put in our first offer. Didn't get it.
Market's opening back up a little bit, though. I feel like
it would have been so perfect too. It was 3-bedroom, and whenever we were walking around, there was like an extra room at the end of the house that couldn't count as a bedroom because it didn't have a closet. And I was like, oh my God, it's my fucking podcast space. I was like, man, the Mike Evans jersey's going up over there. I started thinking about it already, and then we did not get it.
You can't, yeah. You start picturing all the spots.
You're not going to be like Robbie over here and take 17 months off because, you have a DIY projects that all you have to do.
No, because I'm fucking useless when it comes to anything like that. Like this house was like
YouTube is your best friend. Just use YouTube. You can do anything you want.
No.
I'm still waiting actually for Robbie to I mean, he has his own podcast room here, and I'm just waiting.
Just got to put the closet doors on.
We don't have doors on it. It's
just been hanging out. I think that happens. We're gonna do it we have a men's. We'll do
what
it.
What is the J in the background?
Jeffrey's last name.
Wow.
Yeah. Very, very innovative.
Where's the live, laugh, love and the?
Yeah, you guys are always ragging on my house decor. You think I picked this? I actually like the J.
But why don't you have? But you have this. I mean, you could have like TFA on that sidewall over there. You could put lighting in there. I mean, we could do so much stuff with that room and make it the ultimate podcast room. Streaming room, whatever you want to do.
In time.
What have you been doing with all your time? You haven't been here.
I know. Yeah, you haven't been contributing.
Working away, boys. Oh no!
Run like dirt. What? Just so you know, what? What do we know?
Just so you know, buddy.
Just so you know that we all know your facial hair is shit.
Do you find it odd that every time Walito comments, right afterwards that whoever that is comments?
Walito, Walito wasn't around for a little bit. You need to space those out a little bit more.
Mm-mm.
Nah. I'm an A man.
Oh gosh, I wasn't following. I thought that was related to Justin Jefferson. I just got it. I was like, man, it's like, all right.
Well, I guess I'll be on that awkward ending.
All right.
Yeah, time to wrap this bad boy up. We appreciate all of the 18 different accounts that bumped up our watch time and views. Appreciate you making all those different accounts to come through. Appreciate all the true TFAers. We'll be going live again, obviously, on Sunday to answer more of your questions. Kev will be live tomorrow for the DFS show, and then I will be returning with Tom on Saturday for the prop show. You guys are always free to join the Discord as well. So any questions, drop in the YouTube comments, hit us up in the Discord. Good luck in week 14, and we'll talk to you all very soon. Especially you, Dale. We love you.
And William.